อยากให้ไฟแดงนานกว่านี้เนาะ
ระดับหนึ่งเลยแหละการแข่งขันระดับ
บูม
เสียใจได้ค่ายมาไล่ให้หมด
เองพวกเขา
สำหรับผู้ชมที่ชมอยู่ตอนนี้นะครับอย่าลืมกดไลค์กด Subscribe Channel ให้ด้วยนะครับและติดตามการสตรีมของผมได้ที่ sooflight.com ครับลิงก์อยู่ด้านล่างครับ
Nongchin and Talon running this agent every once in a while, but it is so frustrating to get through. You can see there's a sonic sensor on kind of the typical place where you'd see like a nano or an alarm bot. They're just gonna burst right
ถอน
through.
กำลังพอดีฮะรัววางเฮ้ยน่าโดนจัดน่าโดนจัดเว้ยแม่งรู้ไอ้ลูกมันเลยอ้าวแม่งไปเอาไอ้จิตที่เอเฮียดุจังอะ
Lobbing in the nano zoned away for the moment here by the salvos.
ไม่ดีละไม่ดีละ
Are in, they're in somewhat control, but now Snake Bite going to be thrown down, taking a bit of damage.
Let's do
bars
texture
get whittled away out of texture, swoops around the back, but it's been noted very intelligently there. Glue up, turns around, is able to find it now, which is going to be a spray battle. The smoke gets ready to fall. The wall still there in the way of the defuse, being stuck. He's not off it yet, and there's the kill. The last glimpse of a second, Gen.G are able to pick up the pistol with two players surviving.
Yeah, you can see that Gen.G already has some ideas on how to deal with that deadlock util. Got the barrier mesh coming up at the entrance to a link, and Gen.G's just gonna plant their feet, throw a molly at the ground, and then spam through, send texture to the other side. Even though that gets noted, still opens up an opportunity for them to set up a firing squad. And just, there's gonna be a gun down because Talon has to go for the defuse. They're gonna use that advantage and get loud off the rip. So
ม่านตกมันมีม่านมันนะดิมันน่าจะปิดด้วยซ้
rifle for texture.
ำมันไม่ควรเปิดมันปิดทำเฮียมัน
That
ยิง
Marshall goes for an opening shot, but is backed off by
เพราะ
the
ว่า
Tejo
เขา
salvos.
ทะลุมาไม่ได้อยู่แล้วมันมีวอล
Octa 9 with just a ghost.
มันเปิดทำไม
The low buy there, a couple guardians, so just gonna open through
หรือ
to
เปิดเพื่อ
a
จะสแป
clear
ม
C site
อย่างนั้นเหรอ
and make their way in, drone to
Okay,
check.
that.
But yeah, looks like right now Gen.G getting the right read here on where potentially Talon might be set up.
อุ๊ย
Just how much does Talon want to commit, and how much does Gen.G want to push off the back of not wanting to give up those deaths to the spike.
We'll have to see for now, though. Munchkin getting a shot across. Cruz
เฮียทีม
and Glua both tagged up.
อย่าให้เขาฆ่าครับอย่าให้เขาฆ่าตายแบบชิวๆเลย
Looks like Talon
เฮ้ยทีมเปลือง
widely content to just try to chill out.
เฮ้ยได้1คิว
Attempted a combo there with the grab net and the salvos.
Yeah, but no way to push forward. Had a nano blocking off his back side access. So Talon finally just going to go ahead and die to the spike, it would seem here. Gen.G, I don't think they're going to pursue too much. Maybe he sent Foxy into garage, given that he has the ghost. Try to see if he can finish off a couple of these players that you should know you've chipped away at. But seems like it will just be the full 5-player save, the full 5-player death to the spike, as Gen.G will get a flawless anti-eco.
Okay, so kind of the textbook anti-eco and eco round. What does it look like from here forward for the side of Talon? That's the big question. You've already seen that Gen.G has some ideas on how to deal with the deadlock. One thing is you can use the neon to trip some of the sonic sensors, and then they've got plans for the barrier mesh as well. Just how much further are they going to be able to scale up?
ถ้า
Bonus
ลุงที
coming
มยิงทุ
ahead.
กอย่างจบ
Full rifles, a few half armors here and there, but
ที่ผ่านมายิง
Gen.G
ต
as
ลอด
well going to invest in some rifles of their own off the
แบบนี้แหละ
back of that. Have plenty in the back pocket to go into the next round. So this is a dangerous bonus that Talon is
ย่อ
going
แล้ว
to
ไง
be
ต่อ
facing.
รอถือย่อคิดรัวไฟมาทันไหม
Slow
ไม่
here
ทั
off
น
the start of the round. Big exploration in the mid, though. All 5 players from Gen.G creeping in towards the site. Sonic sensor set up here at the front. As Kalua going to be forced away the salvos. Creating a bit of space. TP up over the top here for Kara. Now, site. Plant to come through.
เฮียใช้ไฟเคลียร์หลังจะได้วาร์ปลงเนียน
Both squads. Don't have to worry about those in the post plant quite just yet. Grimmy trying to open up a little bit of space. Ash is going to be taken down. Salvos over on the site, able to go ahead and get a catch. Not sure if it was, grab combo.
Yeah,
Cruz had it. You can see there on the assist.
เวลา
Solid kill to be found. Texture. Looking to try to hold the
นั่น
door,
ไง
hold this A site.
แฟดไม่โดน
But
แต่กระโดดออก
taken down. Solid kill
เนี่ย
opening here
คุย
from the
นะ
side of
คุย
Jit
นะ
Boys. Now a 5v3.
สตันหลังโดนแฟดมายังไม่เคลียร์นะ
Paranoia towards the back. Karan going to be flushed out. Munchkin trying to hold the line. It's going to be a flawless anti-bonus here.
Wow.
Fantastically done from Talon.
Wow, that was really
มันแบบ
well
ไม่ไหว
set up.
เลยอ่ะทั้ง
Very
ที่ปืนมัน
patient
ก็
there
พอมี
around the B site. They didn't even have to really
แต่
push
ดี
through
จริง
before they started getting kills.
ละเอียดทุกมุม
It's util to find some early picks. And then just kind of
ละเอียดทุกมุม
dissecting
จริง
players
ครับ
who are
ตั้ง
trying
แต่
to hold the
ฮิ
angles,
มมี่
hold
กระ
the
โดดออกมา
entrances.
And it's hardly any damage dealt at all.
Jeez.
Just 2 players taking minor chip
Lucky
damage
boy
to the
ก็คม
armor,
ด้วย
but yeah, you can see here just netted in. That's
ดูดิ
one of the big things with
แต่
this
ไม่ได้
deadlock.
มีใครโดนเลย
For these retakes, it's going to be combos like that.
เยี่ยเหมือนไอ้นี่เลยว่ะบู
Very
ม
well
สปอ
set
ร์ต
up from Talon.
And so now my
Mong-
question is,
Mong-
you're
Mong-
already seeing adjustments from Talon on how they want to approach the post plant.
Ao
Same
la
from
nghe.
Gen.G there. But Talon just kind of immediately
1-0 ต้องมี
boxes Gen.G in. Doesn't let them go versus the pistol where they let them push out through a link. This time not having any of that. But Gen.G already setting up some conditioning, it seems like. Thinking about that B side. Wow,
ล่วง
Karos hits a
ไปแล้ว
banger
เฟ
on
มัส
Grimmy.
Very nice opening kill.
That's huge.
So yeah, the Yoru
เม็ดเดียว
now not going to be much of a concern. So the big setup on this A site, 3 players lingering, and looks like Spike is going to be ushered across towards this part of the map. If they decide to try to execute into this, things can still get very rough, very sloppy here for Gen.G. Given that you've got double trips as well as a sonic sensor
ไม่
right
ต้อง
here
โร
on
เท
the
ตครับ
entryway.
เพราะว่ามี
She
จี
saw
บอยจอย
Karan
บิดอยู่ชิว
with the stealth drone there.
Being wide.
He's generally not the one who's going to be lurking
ๆ
by
เดียวมันเหนียว
himself.
อยู่แล้ว
So maybe, with already the 2-player stack here
ของมันยาว
onto
โอ้โหมี
the
ส
A
ตัน
site,
ด้วย วิ่งมาไม่ได้
Talon's happy with their
นอกจากแถบแล้วยังมีสตันอีก
Just a matter of how
วุ่นแล้วมึงงานนี้
efficiently can you get through this layer
แพ้ไงก็แพ้
Cypher and
ถ้ามึงเข้า
Deadlock
อ่ะ
util.
มึงฝืนแล้วมึงฝืนแล้ว
They don't clear any of it yet.
เข้ามาแล้ว1เข้ามาแล้ว2
Karan TP's past it though.
ง่ายจัง
Self situated here, back site. Seems like they have no idea. Kahlua going to be taken down. Paranoia
มันใช้
sent
ไฟ
cross
มา
towards that.
เฮ้ยพอสเลยพอสเลย
Shit boys.
มันใหม่ว่ะแม่งใช้ไฟไอ้นั่นเคลียร์เตโฮอ่ะแล้วทำให้
It's a ping reveal onto one. That's going to be textured
ทำให้
down.
Omen
Ty is
Barb
able to go
ได้
ahead and
ง่าย
collect the kill, but Jit Boys gets
มัน
traded
ไม่
out
มี
as
คน
a casualty. So massive player advantage now to the side of Gen.G. Cruz will bound up in towards heaven, but unless he can find
ต้อง
an
พอส
opening
ว่ะ
kill
งาน
here,
เนี้ย
might just be
ไม่พอ
an
แย่
angle
นะ
to save.
Just do whatever damage he
เฮ้ย
can.
เฮ้ย
Tries to go for the peek out the window, gets shut
ยิง
down
ไป
by
ก่อน
Munchkin.
ครับสัญชาตญาณ
Not much more to be done.
ยังหาไม่
Will be
เจอเลย
try to get the catch, and okay, eventually is able to readjust, gets the headshot there onto Karan. Finding 2 eliminations here is Talon, but not the round win. So tie up not going to be coming through. It will be a 3-1 for Gen.G.
ต้อง
Yeah,
แก้
still the
ต้องแก้
economic
ต้องแก้
damage
แม่ง
okay
ทำ2
for
รอบแล้ว
Talon. They still have quite a bit in their back pockets
ลึ
for
ก
the
บี
next round,
กับ
so they could
ใต้เฮด
afford
เว่น
to
มันโดนไฟ
throw a
เคลี
few
ยร์
extra bodies at that before they decided to
แล้วก็
save.
ม่านนี่
For
ม่านนี่
Gen.G,
ก็ช่วยมัน
they should be okay going into the next round, but trying to make it as
Manion.
costly as possible. Our talent,
Manion
but they're getting
แม่ง
some
ม่าน
info.
ไอ้
They're
เหี้ย
not
คือ
really
ม่านตรงๆเข้าไปเลย
trying to go for the reads, and
ให้เป็นทาง
it's a
เข้าไป
really
เลย
smart play by Karan to just
วันทูฮูตรง
bypass
ซิด
all of that util TP into the back under health, gets the opening kill as well. So this is a beautiful round from him. Basically secures Gen.G this round. Jit Boys trying to wait for Ash there to create some, or excuse me, not wait for Ash, wait for Killua to set up some crossfires, but
เรียกว่า
quite able to
จับ
get
ตัวยาก
there.
ดีกว่าแล้วพิมมี่
Now
ส
Primmy's
ไน
gonna
โน
have the
เกาะ
op.
มีว่ะมี
Big round for Talon
Killua
here. A
no
lot of
got
investment
เป็น
into
ทอม
this. You have the Taeho
เอา
ultimate.
แล้ว
Ash went away from
ไอ้
his.
เหี้ย
So might have kind of
โกรธแล้วครับ
a
คิ
duel
รัวบอกเอาไปเพื่อน
with some of our
กูยอมเสียสละให้มึง
big time ultimates.
แต่ขอ
It
1
is
คิวได้ไหม
glass cannon here for
เฮ้ย
Kahlua.
เฮ้ยเฮ้ยเฮ้ย
Forcing
เฮ้ยเฮ้ย
get that op
มันจะ
purchase
ยิงได้ไง
here
อะไกล
for
เกิน
Primmy. Needs to
Hang on,
survive to be able to
hang
put
on.
that Armageddon to good
ไม่ใช่
use. Ash now grabbing that orb means that we could have dueling
กิน
ults.
เล่นหน้าควันเร็วเก่าดีชอบ
But Gen.G makes some presence known over at C to make sure they can grab the orb. Now maybe rethinking about Garage. Curious to see what they're going to do. How they're going to react off of a deadlock wall. There goes.
บีอีกแล้วอ่ะ
They're
ดู
actually
ดิ
just
มันจะ
gonna
วาร์ปเข้าไหม
sidestep
แต่มัน
it.
ถือระเบิดไม่น่านะไม่น่าวาร์ปเข้า
Coming down. They're suspecting a
ทำบ่อยไม่ได้เฮียเดี๋ยวโดนตายฟรี
lingering lurk around C long. They're
อุ้ยชิบหายละ
correct, but
โอ้
Munchkin out a little bit
นี่
further.
ไง
Is not going to be fast enough to
Yeah.
find the kill. Puts Cruz
Cái
down to
kiểu này
45,
nó-
but ends up losing his life.
ยามพี่
Very solid
Phải léo.
response from the IGL up Talon.
Cái
Gets in
quả,
that
cái quả.
opening pick.
And Primmy TP'd right off the
Miễn
back
tỷ,
of
miễn
that.
tỷ
When you
retake
just get
ทำไง
Munchkin, kind of assuming
หูแม่งฉลาดแม่งเอาไอ้เชี่ยโอ
there's
เม
gonna
น
be
มา
much
แก้ครับ
behind. Boys gets texture.
ไอ้เชี่ยแอดบอกว่ากูวางแล้วเบียร์กูตายมึงไปวางให้หน่อยดิมึงมีวาร์ป
So he can TP out when the net comes through. He's
ผม
able
แม่ง
to do
แก้
that.
กันแบบ
Avoids it,
เม็ด
but
ต่อ
now
เม็ดจริง
Taken down. Armageddon going to be sent out.
ๆตายหนึ่ง
Ash trying to hold the door. Nearly has him lined up, but the nano from Boxing 9 is
เหยียบ
able to
ไฟ
find
ไป
one.
เหยียบไฟครับมี
With
มี
the
ควัน
Phantom
ยังมี
comes
ควัน
up
อ
with
ยู่ครับ
another. Diffuse starting to be held. The shots gets the hit. Takes down Thai,
เหี้ย
but
พิมมี่เทรด
that is
เร็ว
still
มา
going
ก
to be Primmy standing, getting the diffuse here.
Cái điều
Op should be nearby
Kiểu
enough
nào?
to get the recovery on that as well, and Talon will scrape by with a round win.
เฮ้ยเอาสไนด์มาดิ
Yeah, some really
No.
interesting reads by both sides. I mean, Munchkin reads it well that there's going to be a player pushing out of C long. He just gets out-dueled. I like the way that Primmy immediately TP's back after Cruz gets this kill. They don't stick around. They don't anticipate that there's anything else behind it because it's just Munchkin there. And he loves to lurk. And then they use a great ultimate. The Tejo ultimate forces Karan out in the garage door right where Cruz is ready and waiting. And a nice quick trade there by
ไอ้
Primi.
สัตว์
Very ready
ปาด
for
ไป
that
เป้า
window
ทาบกระบาลทันที
position. A classic Gen.G style of play for those B hits to set up for those deep post plants with the mollies.
ช็อตแบบนี้แหละ
So you're going to need to try to find some different answers. A few Guardians being bought down for Gen.G. So they're trying to get another round in the books because if they don't get this one, money behind it.
ย่อ
Players pretty dire.
ไฟมาตายหมด
Going to try to push out of the doors, but thwarted.
ตายหนึ่ง
Primi.
Primi able to find Munchkin dead in the
Team,
same
team, yeah,
position.
team,
He's got
team.
that deep line immediately TP's back
ปืน
over
สั้น
towards
เกิน
the
อ
C
ยู่ใน
site.
นั้นแหละ
Keeps himself safe, and now
อ้า
Munchkin
ว
IGLing from beyond the grave.
ได้เรื่องอย่างนี้ได้เรื่อง
Forward presence here from Foxy9 slid up in the smoke just in front of B, but Gen.G now starting to try to tackle this A site where once again the lion's share of this
ไม่
defensive
เอาสเก็ต
util
ลงไว้
is situated.
หวาน
Yeah,
เจี๊ย
you
บ
still
เลย
have
อะ
Car
ส
on
เก็ต
there
อะ
to clear some of it. They're going to use
มาแล้ว
utility as well. They get the trips. This one of the sonic sensors, but everything else is cleared. And
Oh.
Foxy finds one on the lurk.
ดูดิดูมันเล่นดิ
In transit, able to find that hit.
ยิงดิไม่
Cruz
ยิงบอ
gets
ดยิง
taken
เหรอ
down.
ไม่
Kalua spotting out the
ข
placement
อยิงคนก่อน
of the util here.
ฉลาดจัด
Foxy looking like he wants to challenge the
ฉลาด
angle.
จัด
Does so. Kalua able to strike, finds the kill. Ash quick to trade it back.
เป็นที
Keeps him in with a
They saw
3v3 as Primi. Sprinting around in the dimensional drift. Looking for a weapon here, but Texture, noting the flank, is able to find Jit Boys.
เนี่ยอะไรวะไม่มีควันอยู่เฮ้ยมีควันดิ
Now into the post
ควัน
plan.
ดิ
Not much util to speak of here.
สามวิมีควันรอได้
Just end up being a firing squad
มี
down
ไฟ
from
เตโฮ
window.
แค่นั้นแหละ
If
ชิว
Talon can try to find the setup here to start actually getting a tap on this plan.
Got a couple flashes, but you got to get deep enough to use them.
ๆกูยังไม่เนี่ย
Salvos go through. Primi
ไว้
to 11.
Ooh, nice.
Managed to come away with one as Texture's going to
Ooh.
be Primi finding
โอ้ย
it. He finds 3. 11 HP. Be damned. Primi is
Damn.
on point, and we are tied up at 3-3.
Jeez, he's
แม่
quick.
ยืนกลางลานซ้ายขวา
That
ซ้าย
is
ขวา
crazy good. Gen.G had a lot of opportunities and an odd man advantage,
เอา
and
แล้ว
Primi just
มันกลับมาแล้ว
not having any of it.
โอ้ย
Gets the first with the
เอาไง
operator.
ชายคน
Oh,
นี้
nice work there by Foxy.
มันกลับมาแล้ว
Ash, quick to trade, and Texture watching the flanks
ก่อน
nicely.
หน้านี้
But
คิดรัวนะตอน
tie
นี้
up
เป็น
on
ทิม
top of
มี่
the
นะครับ
box. Gets one. Oh my
Oh
god, that's
my
so
God.
good. They go over the peak. They just get shut
โอ้ย
down.
บ้าแล้วไอ้
Primi
เหี้ย
out
มัน
in
บ้า
the
แล้ว
open, no
ใครไม่
problem.
รู้อะ
He's feeling it. 7-2
Team
and
บ้า
2
แล้ว
at the moment. That op still carried forward. Gen.G knocked back onto a bit of a half buy
ยิง
here.
บ้าแล้ว
Just the one hero Vandal, as well as a Bulldog in alongside this Sheriff and the Stingers.
เอาละวางขึ้นมาเรียบร้อยเสิร์ฟไปเลยตาย
Find one, Garan,
นี่
take
ไง
it down.
วาร์ปไม่ดี
Just
แค่
get
นี้
suppressed. There's
ตั
the
วฟรี
stealth
นี่เอง
drone.
แล้วไม่มี
Chases
ควันโอ้
forward.
จีจี1-0
Gen.G, yeah, abandoning this.
Yeah, it was a heavy stack early from
1-0
Talon
ครับ
off
ไม่
of
มี
any
ควัน
pressure, trying to
เข้าไง
thwart the quick hit from Gen.G, and they do. And the B side is a real problem. You know, Talon is perfectly happy to funnel Gen.G into that area. So you stack the Sentinel util onto A. You had Primi on op on C.
แม่งเข้าบี
You go B, and that's where you know the deadlock Tejo combo can be really annoying.
มันบอกมีส
They've
ตัน
got
ตรงนั้น
so
นะเพื่อน
much util
ระ
to
วัง
clear that space.
ถ้าวาง
It
โดน
makes
ย่อ
it
นะ
really challenging
วาง
for
โดน
Gen.G,
ย่อ
no
นะ
matter
บอก
how
ก่อน
good their post plants are, and
ย่อ
a clutch for Cruz.
ย่อนั่นไงวางโดนย่อตามโอ้ยโอ้
And Salvos
ดูฟิกดิ
absolutely
ดูฟิกดิ
annihilate Munchkin.
ปัง
Of a thrifty, very
เข้า
much
บี
gone.
นะเข้าบียังไง
As
ก็
it's
โดน
just
ย่อ
gonna be one casualty. Cruz giving his life for the retake.
เพราะว่า
Talon now
พอ
gaining
โด
the
นย่อ
lead.
เสร็จก็ไฟมา
Yeah, I
โอ
think
มิน
you
มัน
need to
ตาย
call a
ยังไงก็
timeout
คือ
here
การั
as
นตีตายห
Gen.G
นึ่ง
to kind of figure out how you can find
Yeah,
other ways
man,
onto the other
man.
sites, because it's been almost B every time, other
love
than the anti-eco round where you went C. And,
Because
and this
after
is,
B ได้แบบ
in my opinion, all according to
ขาด
plan. This
ลอย
is
เลย
something I was
เพราะ
worried
ว่า
about here for Gen.G is
เสร็จไปแล้ว
this is going to be an
ไอ้
important
เหี้ย
site, I think, on both sides.
ไอ้นั่น
of the
มึง
point.
ไม่ต้องพยายาม
When they
แกะ
switch
เว้ย
over to
คือมัน
defense,
การัน
this
ตี
is
ตาย
going to
ไว้
be a
แอ
site
ป
that the deadlock could be really
มัน
frustrating
การัน
to
ตี
play
ตายแล้ว
against, because if you can
แล้ว
get
ทำ
there
ไม
and get that wall
ถึ
down,
งมาอยู่ตรงนี้
it's
หมดเล
really
ยวะ
hard to go
ทั้
for
งที่
those
รู้ถ้าวาง
retakes.
จะโดนย่อ
So you're going to have to be active on the map.
ฮัลโหล
on this
เจ
side,
น
but
จี
over here on this attacker's side,
ฮัลโหล
seemingly solo,
อะโดนเก
going to trust Munchkin to make the right
ก็
call
ไปอยู่ตรงนั้นทำไม
Go for another quick
เฮ้ย
one.
เฮ้ยเฮ้ย
Cruz just with a little bit of spam early. They used the salvos early. Did Gen.G to clear sewers.
ถือว่าฟุตแชมป์แล้วหรือยัง
มันทำมากี่ราวแล้วอะบอม
I'm not
บี
sure if they
ที่
know
วางประ
about
มาณ
this
3 ราว
forward-facing
มันก็นั่งตรงนั้น
cipher trip
3
either.
รอบ
This was here in the previous
แล้วก็
round, but it didn't
มี
get
คน
cleared, and I
เยอะ
don't think it ever
ไป
got noted by Gen.G. So that might cause them some grief on this execute if they do commit.
And either way, even if it's not that, just the triple stack that they have.
That's not great either.
มันเป็นสิ่งที่นี่แหละ
here from the
โค้
side
ช
of Talon.
เลยต้องมีไงเพราะเพลเยอร์มัน
Cruz knows. He knows they have to try
Mong
something
mới
different.
hiểm
He is just not working.
Well, the
Ai,
deep angle
Pon,
push,
Pon này,
not
Pon này.
spotting out too much of
Pon
anything.
này,ถ้ามึง
Looks
เข้า
like
บีกรอบมึงก็
now
พอละ
Gen.G is going
ถ้า
to
มี
look to
ถ้ามี
re-wrap
ตัวไหนตาย
around.
ในบีอะ
Texture able to break that line of sight before the triple push into
ตายเพราะไฟ
sewers. Goes forward, but this is still so much info gain for Talon.
And they put up the wall. They're expecting this push out. They know
They
they've
are
got the
funneling
space.
them.
Yes, exactly.
Right now, reading them like
มา
a
ไฟ
book.
มา
Grab net set, not getting a catch on anyone, I do
ไฟ
believe.
อยู่ไหน
Sets are going to be cleared
ไฟ
out.
ไม่มาปืน
Cruz
มาแล้ว
on
หมด
peak
เล
able
ย
to find it. Now they
และ
strike in
จี
from
จี
behind.
หนึ่ง
They are
ศู
just
นย์
absolutely
สตัน
in
ดีแฟด
position.
ดี
Once
ทุก
again,
อย่าง
behind
ส
one,
ตัน
Chip
ตัวเอง
doesn't
อีก
take
แอ
it
ด
down. He's
บ้า
running
ไป
around
แล้ว
with
ครับ
a
ตัว
little
แท
bit
น
more
ส
enough
เก
space.
ต
He's gonna be on the floor. Ty
โอ้
catching Ash.
หมด
Kahlua catching Munchkin in this round is so beautifully read from Talon, understanding and manipulating the movements of Gen.G.
1-0
They are pulling the
การันตี
strings
ให้
and
เลย
making them dance.
การันตีเลย
This is great. I mean,
1-0 แน่
you can see the
แม่ง
plans
บ้าจัด
that Cruz and Frost have put together. The way that they understand how they can toy with the tendencies of
Bad
Gen.G. And this time
โอ้
it's
แล้ว
as soon
ทำอะไร
as
ก็
they
ดี
feel
ไปหมด
like
นะ
they've
ส
got
แป
some
ม
extra
ควันก็
space in the
ชิว
sewers.
ๆกะทัมมิ่งนิด
It's
หน่
the
อย
wall up at the front of B so they
Satan
can't go
big,
there, funnel them towards
เบรกตัวเอง
garage.
ไม่ให้พี
You can take window control and create a crossfire. Really well thought
อุ๊ย
out.
ตายเกือบหลุด
This is extremely smart.
ดีๆตาย
Yeah, okay, now you got to take a timeout. I think this is a round too
นั่น
late
แหละ
for
ครับ
me, but
พอแล้วครับ
you got to
คือ
figure
ปัญ
out
หาตอน
ways
นี้ก็คือ
to create
ย่
pressure
อ
in
ของ
parts
ลู
of the
ที
map
นี่
where
ลงแหล่งนะ
Talon isn't
เบรก
dictating the
จังหวะ
pace.
ดีๆทั้งนั้น
And whether that means find ways to
แม่งต้องเสีย
make
เวลา
Primmy's
แกะเลย
op on C uncomfortable or have some kind of set
หลาย
execute
อย่าง
on
ว่ะ
the
ย่อ
A
ลุงทีมอ่ะ
to clear that.
แกะไม่เท่าไหร่แม่ง
It's the
รู้
only
ด้วย
time
ว่าแม่ง
that's
อยู่
really
กี่
worked
ตั
is
ว
when
อะไรอ
you're
ย่างเงี้
able
ย
to TP past with Karan.
แม่งโดนย่อ
Other
ส
than
อ
that,
ง
you
ว่ะ
haven't really even been able to find your way onto the A site.
ไฟมาอีกโอ้1 คิว
That Cypher util is really giving them problems. And it's a great combo to have against a Neon as well. This double Sentinel setup. You have to use something like a stealth drone or, you know, you have to rely on Ash a lot to be able to find that util, but I've been watching pretty closely on the minimap, the way that they're setting it up, and it's all over the place. It's hard to keep track of it, and now they're moving it over to C. They're going to, after this timeout, anticipate an
แถม
adjustment,
ไอ้นี่เก่งด้วย
kind of set the Cypher back to the normal side of the map on Haven that you would typically see.
And similarly, they're a little bit inverted, I suppose, is Talon shifting Primmy across.
เลิกหมิ่นฟอสยังพี่
Hit crash at the
ไม่
moment,
เคย
he
หมิ่น
just set up to go over towards the A connector.
กูแค่สงสัยว่าทำไมมันไม่พอสกูไม่ชอบที่มันไม่พอสเฉย
It's back over to the B site. Quick TP to readjust here from Ty.
ๆเน่ๆๆวาร์ปออกอะไรกูยังไม่ย่อเลยกวนติ
Catches a glimpse. With the stun, still gets a quick peek, and that's going to be Foxy9 taken down. Camera cleared out. Salvo sent both sides. Gen.G.
ไอ้นั่นเรื่องหลอนย่อเอาย่อไปไหนแล้วตายไปแล้วเหรอ
Ash going to be left to stick around.
เฮ้ยตาย
You've been
หา
spotted.
เกินกินเอ้ย
It's just far too late.
แดกเข้าไปดิลูกซองอ่ะเรียบร้อย1-0
The overdrive able to come away with one.
นี่ไง
It's
ย่อ
so much more than that.
เพิ่งมานะ
He and Karan now trying to fight their way.
อันตีหมด
What looks to
อัน
be
ตีหมดแล้วค่อยเล่น
damn
อ
near
อกไม่ได้
impossible
ปล่อย
situation.
เสียง
The
ตลอด
overdrive
ทาง
now expired. Sets the wall to try to act like he's repositioned. Runs out of bullets in the stinger, and it's just one
เอ้ย
kill.
เอ้ย
Is all that they
ไอ้
can find.
1-0
Chip damage, some forced armor rebuys, but Talon are not
Hey.
allowing for any kind of thrifty business to
เอ้ย
come
แม่ง
through.
เละแล้วว่ะ
What a decision here to move the op over to
Good
Ty, and he
man.
puts it to great use. That is so
Duan
well thought
man.
out there to absorb the concuss. He had just gotten a spot of the players
Die.
when he was looking away to maybe change positions. Munchkin there just gets too deep in the paint,
Die,
anticipating
dude,
that
huh?
his poison cloud had bought him enough space to get that Viper's pit down, but Talon was already there. They were willing to pounce.
ยิงออฟโคตรไวเฮ้ยทีมมึง
And
ไม่
they
คิด
just
ออ
have
ฟกันทุกคนนะ
every read so far.
ไอทีมไม่ตายนี่ได้หมดนะ
They're just ahead of the curve.
5 กระบอกไหมล่ะ
They get the annihilation out, but
King
commit
khana
two of
nè.
their own to no avail. Still do have a lockdown available, but
ดูแลเร็วทุกคน
similarly, Kahlua, he's got an Armageddon, so he can just clear that and disrespect it.
อุ๊ยย่อยังย่ออยู่เนี่ยต้องดึงพอดึงปุ๊บตายเลย ดึงการันตีตายเลยถ้าดึงอ่ะเพราะว่าพิมมี่ไม่ให้ออกแน่
Now Munchkin trying to be
มันก็
that
ฉลาดที่จะไม่ดึง
anti-lurk guy. You know, in the back of his mind, he's got to be
อ
thinking
ยู่
about
ที่ว่า
how
ใครนิ่งกว่ากัน
Talon was able to push that space for free. Previously, he has to
เออเธอพิมมี่ไปไหนอ่ะ1 คิวฟรีไม่เอาตรงนี้
find openings on B and C, but Talon aware of it. They're making aggressive moves towards that side of the map. They're just going to leave Primi on his own. He's got the op again to watch A.
This time by Talon, slight misread. Like you said, they have Primi situated.
เชื่อกูดิ
So they're not going to be spotting much of anything there. It's Foxy. Is prepared, gets the catch. Crew's going to be taken
เอาแล้ว
down.
ง่ายๆนั่นเลยเหรอ
Seemed like a timing idea there from Cruz. But Gen.G has been pausing maybe longer than he expected. They're going to catch him, trying to find that opening for the
ไอ้
lurk.
นั่นมันแกะย่อยังเฮ้ยอย่าบอกนะมันย่อมาถึง C อ่ะ
I think this is going to be A.
โอ้ยย่อไกล
Gen.G's
จัง
been kind of making contact and rotating, but this time just going to barrel on in.
Make sure. Dashing forward, trying to clear things out. Goes to the site. Here, prime to the taking.
ให้มันไปเดี๋ยวมีคิดดูอันติรีเทคนี่ฮะอันติไล่ไปเลยครับยาวๆอันติยาวๆบีบเคลียร์ตรงนี้รวบให้มันอยู่ในไซส์ว่าไงคิดรัวอันนี้กูสอนมึงนะอย่าอันติแบบบอมเองอะเล่น
Alarm bot, however, is still set up there from Munch or from Foxy 9, I should
ใช่
say.
แล้วครับตายหนึ่ง
Alert for Munchkin.
เฮ้ยเบรดไปพิมมี่
This one should be about done.
Yep, should just be a tuck and save here.
เซฟเลย
Jit Boys may be able to come away with a kill. We'll be able to find that one. One off now, a neural theft. Spam through Ash, nearly catching the time to find him. Jit Boys repositions, looks to play this out a bit more aggressively. As the cage falls, he'll get his ult in death. Operator going to be saved. There's Gen.G. They're finally able to break a very large win streak from the side of Talon. Was 5 consecutive wins in a row to get themselves up to 4.
Yeah, and if you're thinking like, okay, this is the double sentinel comp, this is the defender sentinel comp. Not against T1, it wasn't. They won 6 out of 8 rounds on their attacker side. It can be very annoying on that attacker side. There's still a lot of oomph behind it, especially in those post plants.
ถ้าเป็นสักเกตมันไม่ใช่แบบนี้แน่ๆกูมั่นใจเลย
Kind of flood retake, especially with the
ที่กูดูวันนั้นน่ะ
Have fun being stunned and detected for days.
เฮ้ยโดนย่อยกันนะ
Primi this time takes some sewer space.
เล่นมุมบิ๊กเซลนะ ลุงทีม
tight angle.
เดี๋ยวนี้นะ
No one given him the time there to go for the peak, so backs away.
ไอ้มาร์คโดนใบแดงจีป่ะ
They get a glimpse though. They know.
อุ้ยนี่ยังจับทหารไม่เสร็จ
Deadlock is in position and Cruz is just spamming through the wall. Texture dead. Not looking to reposition fast enough. Now Sonic Sensor is situated here in Garage.
ดูดิตลาดคือแกเอาอยู่เลยอะโหแล้วไม่ไหวแล้วมันคินบอกเก็บไม่ขอเดินหน่อยเหอะเพื่อนทำเหี้ยอะไรไม่ได้เลยครับทางอื่นก็เลยตายเลยแล้วกันแล้วก็ทิ้งไปเลยราวนี้ไม่มีอะไรคือมันคิดมันจะเดินได้ไงในเมื่อเพื่อนทำเหี้ยไม่ได้เลยเขาก็ไม่ต้องโยกสตันบอดนิ่งไว้ตายอย่าเฮ้ยใครอะข้างบนอะเฮ้ยตายย่อมา
Salvo's in response, however.
ไม่มี
Came down to 60.
ใช้ไปแล้ว
You've got Primi swooping around from behind here. Now it's C.
เฮ้ยติดไหลกันหน่อยดิไปด้วยกันดิวะ
Try to hold this angle again. See if he can trick Talon a bit.
But the swap should have been heard.
นั่นแหละนั่นแหละ
Two players there.
Thank you.
We'll end up falling. Decent little run of it. At least get the plant money across. But that is going to be Talon now securing the lead at the half.
ไอ้ต่ายงงใครอยู่ข้างบนเสียจังหวะนะนั่นเด็กไอ้ต่ายสงสัยเฮ้ยมันมองบนไหม
Talon
วะ
has the read. You know, Primi can just hold sewers. He's got A under control.
โอ้โอเมก้าแฮชแท็ก2ปะทะอัลฟาแฮชแท็ก
Senses
3
the drone, knows the drone is coming. Throws out the grab net to slow it down. Sees the shots coming through the wall and just wins the counter spam battle.
โอเมก้า
And the rest of the way through, they're finding some good double peeks. Killua, nice little drag. Ash trying to do what he can, but at this point, he's got players coming from every which way. Got identified, tried to swing, paid the price. Tejo's have ults. Still have Jit Boys'
ไอ้นี่บ้าน
neural
แตก
theft.
ป่ะน้อง
This round, very important for Gen.G. This 5th would feel very nice. Feel like you can still get this done.
ที่2ไม่ได้มาเขาช่วยครับฝีมือตบทีวันมาแชมป์มาสเตอร์แบงคอกอะโดนไปเลย
Last round of the half. Armageddon's available on both sides. Jit Boys and Neural
ถ้า
Theft is
ค่
there.
อยๆแหลมไป
Foxy
จะเห็น
is
ปลาย
ready
ปืนแล้วพิมพ์ก็จะ
for
เสีย
this
ชีวิต
push
นะ
out. It's been happening consistently from the side of Talon, but Primi
ขึ้นอยู่กับมุมเลยว่ะเกมเฮียเนี่ย
playing a bit more
เอา
reserved
แล้ว
this time.
ตาย
Probably
เอา
gonna
บ้างครับ
overstretch the
สไน
angle.
ที่เร็วที่สุดตายเอาบ้างครับในความที่เป็นราวท้ายก็สามารถอออินได้
Gen.G. They're going to get the stealth drone out. Doesn't see any contact. They have to
แต่บน
re-clear
ยังไม่มี
themselves.
สายล่างครับ
Make sure there's no push coming through sewers again.
A little bit wider. Foxy is not fast enough. Primi quick on the draw.
ยิงนานจัง
Finds that kill and a player down here. Our Gen.G.
เอ้ยกูเอาตัวเฮียนี่ไปยืนกระดาษดีกว่าเก่ง
Talon
ดี
taking
ว่ะ
the right steps towards securing that 8th round victory here in the half.
Quick rotate after clearing the barrier mesh.
เฮ้ยเฮ้ยเฮ้ยเฮ้ย
I want to try
ภาพ
to
เดิ
find
ม
a way
ภาพ
through
เดิม
towards
เลย
A,
ครับลุง
but
ทีม
Ty
โอ้ยแล้ว A
also
อยู่บน
seemingly
สาม
aware
หลังอีก
hasn't
หนึ่
seen
ง
anything over at B.
เอาสบายสบายอยู่แล้วครับ
Jit Boys.
Has the cam situated. It's
โอ้ย
not
จิต
across
บอย
texture.
โดนได้ไงอ่ะ
Find Jit Boys just sprinting through the cage. Swoops around the back. Two players now
yeah,
lingering
well.
within the smokes. Karen pushing forward, able to find one. The spike need to get planted here.
อุ้ยตาย
Still
ลำ
looking
ตาย
to
ลำควัน
cause chaos.
ตาย
Yes, on the side.
ตายลำควัน
Gets the spot out, pushes forward, ends up getting taken down with 2 seconds to spare. The plant now being stuck is Primi.
I'll
The
pay
last
that
one
guy.
standing.
อุ้ย
Looking to try to clutch it out, but Karen off on the flank angle. Has the headshot. That's going to be Gen.G narrowly making their way up to 5-round wins.
Yeah, I mean, that was really tenacious defense from the side of Talon. Tough nut to crack for sure. And eventually Gen.G able to get there. That's good paranoia to set up texture on the entry by Karan.
Yelling because he's like upset about like where you're going or it's like, oh, the trip isn't long enough.
ไม่
But
อย่า
you're just
อย่า
like,
เอากับหลวงปู่ยึด
I don't fully understand what you're
Not my
angry
problem.
about, so I'm just gonna chill back and
Yep.
put my earpods in.
Yep, exactly. Just this guy's
แล้ว
yapping
แผ
and
น
I
ปื
don't
นพก
know.
นี่ไม่เคยพลาด
I'm unbothered.
ฟอร์ดเวทยุด
Just get me to my destination.
In
Let
my
me
lane.
swipe my card.
Yep. Oh, they're ready for this.
Paranoia, Primi, blinded up. Damage not suffered though, and we'll just go ahead and take
โอ้
a
แล้วเสียม่านไป
exit.
แล้ว
Get the snake bite out as
โอ้
well. Now it's going to be
อุ้ย
pivot across.
เหี้ยม่านไปให้ไม่ให้มันโรเทตครับฉลาดจัด
Find a bit of damage.
เหี้ยฟอร์ด
for
เอาจริง
something
เหรอ
kind.
But they got the wall
เอาจริง
deep,
เล
so
ย
the
ค
two
รับ
players stuck on B have to clear
แล้ว
that
โดน
before
ตัด
they're
ครับ
gonna
โด
be
น
able to
ตัด
help.
ทางโรเทต
Final one. Ash going to be taken down.
มาแล้ว
That was the full
มา
HP
แล้ว
player there.
มา
Back sight.
อุ้ยเล่นเร็วเลย
Texture now.
โดนตายหมดเลยหมดดง
Now unable to find
หมด
one
ดง
drop, but
ช่วยหน่อยช่วยหน่อย
gets it back
แบ็ค
out.
ไซด์แทง
Around the back, Primi
แทง
looking
ดิ
for the
พี่มึง
time
อย่า
to
เบรด
find
ดิ
out from the smoke. Does
เอ
so
อ
eventually drags the shots across, finding Munchkin's head.
สวย3-1
Foxy now the last one standing. Primi Cruz both tagged up. Jit Boys, however, full HP, full ghosts,
แผนเดิมนะนี่
full pressure
เน็ตหลังบอ
on
ม
the
ปะ
shoulders of this killjoy.
เนตหลังบอมไม่ใช่เพื่อน
เอาขา
มันใช้ไปแล้ว มันใช้เนตที่ไหนไม่รู้
Still have a grab net though for Cruz.
อุ้ยช่วยด้วยช่วยด้วยยังไม่ใช้อ่ะโดนย่อไปดิ
Finds the first one.
อย่าบอกนะโอ้โห
And needed
เจ
to
อ
hit
ไวสบิง
every
ของ
single
จิต
headshot
บอย
from
จอย
there
บิด
and
นะ
cannot. That's going to
เรี
be
ยบร้อยเลย
Talon
ย่อย
taking
มัน
it
เล่นกันดิ
defensively
ดู
in
มัน
the
เล่น
second
กันดิ
half, tying that up.
2 คนน่ะดูมันเล่นกันดิ
Further
dia.
stretching the lead.
Yeah, and I mean, again, going back to what I was talking about earlier, this comp to me
Yeah, yeah,
really
maybe the
feels
Numa
like it's
Hu,
well
hey,
set up to put pressure at B
Finna
and C. Because if you can get those walls deep from the deadlock, you could cut off a lot of the rotation
Why the wing?
angles and really make it easy to read where and when your opponents are going to be. Because they're either going to be clearing that wall at that one spot or they're going to be pushing from C link or something. So you have so much ability to manipulate the map here with this comp that Talon brings. And to understand where and when your opponents are, it's going to be really difficult for a lot of teams. Gen.G here today on their map pick, also already struggling.
โหดอย่างมากมายมหาศาล
Now they're trying to set up crossfires
เอ้
with the classics
เยอะ
outside
เยอะเยอะเยอะ
for Sheriff for texture. Is this going to catch Talon off guard?
สวย
เดี๋ยว
ฉลาด
not gonna
ฉลา
spot
ด
it.
ฉ
It's
ลาด
going
มาก
into
ฉลาดมาก
garage.
อย่าไป
They don't like it.
Yep, they're not going to play around with this. All
สู้
falling.
by time to beat.
Potential catcher on a Kahlua. It's out
กระตุก
in mid.
ช็อตไหนพิมมี่เหรอ
Maybe a weapon eventually
พิมมี่
recovered in the
พิมมี่
round,
ไม่
but
เบรด
looks
นะพิม
like
มี่กับไอ้
will just be a
ไอ้จิต
re-aggress from Talon into mid, try to keep that weapon
สวิงคู่
protected.
นะ
And does get scooped up there by Cruz, in fact.
แค่ไอ้นั่นสวิงใกล้ไอ้นั่นสวิงไกล
Yeah, that's
As
Why?
Donk
Huh?
Donk walking into garage, and he ends up getting taken down. Primi quickly trades it back as Jit Boys on the linger up in towards A. He's able to find Ash. Gen.G, though, really scratching their heads, have a strong understanding that this is going to be a seaside plant, especially now that they hear it coming through. get themselves into a 3v3.
เฮ้ยเขาออกแล้วตายออกได้แล้วตาย
G would start being costly to
สวย
Talon.
ตายออกเลย
Doing well to find that
ไม่
kill.
ตายทำอะไรอ่ะผม
And that
มีอี
one.
กไหม
Maybe the
Me,
third
yeah.
one, yes.
คนหนึงออกคนหนึงเล่นเฮ้ย
I did well. Let's just leave it at that.
Yeah. Man, he was on point for sure. That's
ตายทำอะไร
very nicely done again. I mean, Talon has a great read again.
ตัว
They're not actually going to A. That's where Gen.G expects them to. They cover the gun. Gen.G anticipates they were going to rotate off of that. Instead, Talon finds the open space, finds the open
มันอันต
site.
รายเว้ย
Able to hit some nice shots along the
คนห
way.
นึงออก
So
คนหนึงเล่นอ่ะ
looking very, very nice
โค้ช
right
แพน
now
ได้เปรียบปืนก็
for
ดีกว่า
Talon. Up by 4 rounds
งี้ไม่ตายเดี๋ยวมันมีปืน
into the bonus.
Sweet.
Have some guardians.
แต่มันก็อาจจะดิกอยู่
Shotgun for
ฝั่ง
Cruz.
นู้นคงคิดว่า
And that's a great way to start working
เรีย
towards
บ
the
ร้อย
conversion.
ไม่มีสเก็ตมีแอดแต่จิตคมฮะไม่ว่าใครก็ล่วงช็อต
Hell
นี้
of a shot
Oi,
for Chip
kid.
Boys.
เม็ดเดียว
And dead, and now this scrambles the forces from Gen.G across the map.
โอ้ยร้อน
It's going to be an exact
เฮ้ยใครวางมัวล่ะ
sight for the side of Talon.
เปลี่ยน
Wall set up, cutting off that A connector. Texture
แล้ว
gets
มี
the
อัน
bad
ตียับ
news,
ใส่ห
trying
น้า
to
กากไป
spray
เลย
that
หา
wall
ข้อ
down.
มูลด่วน
As Munchkin
โอ้โหมีด
has no idea.
เล่นแรงไป
In between the shoulder
เล่นแรงไป
blades.
เจน
The kill. Texture.
Hey!
This round is as
บน
good
นั้น
as
ลาวนะ
done.
เว้ย
เฮ้ย
They
No choice.
absolutely do. And Cruz
Oi!
can throw that at them. He's got a bucky.
Yeah. Why not?
โอ้ย
Talon
เฮีย
gonna
เยือก
get
เย็น
up to
เกิ
10 rounds.
น
The bonus conversion. Gen.G left
แม่เดี๋ยวแม่ง
scratching
ไม่ได้อยู่
their
เกาหลี
heads.
สัตว์
แม่งฟัน2
แม่งเดี๋ยวแม่งโดนกระทืบไปเฮียไม่ช่วยนะเว้ย
Winning so many of these opening duels. They're so on point with their reads on the timings. The deadlock util. So annoying.
ทั้งหมดขาดสะบั้น
All of this for Talon. Just incredibly well put together, incredibly well executed. Players on point today.
Not sure why.
แล้วแบบแรกทารอนไม่ชนะมากี่เดือนกี่ปีนะ400 วัน
The
ปะ
memes.
It's fine. He's got 7,000.
Yeah.
They're up by
300
5
one,
rounds.
He's 15 and 6.
Yeah.
it's.
ไม่ชนะละ
Oh man.
For a sec, when the first knife swing didn't kill, I was like, oh no, he's beat it.
เขาเพิ่งชนะที่วันไปแล้ว
Munchkin's got a 180 and just head tap, you know. But nope. Got it done.
เฮ้ยยิ้ม
It's been a very, very rough go here for the side of Gen.G. And Foxy only one at double-digit kills.
Who's next?
I mean, they're just having such a
Yeah,
struggle
Gen.G,
reading the
man.
map.
They are just storming their way forward
ว่า
now.
ทารอนนี่
Foxy
โอ้ดูดิ
absolutely overwhelmed.
ดูพิมพ์ดิ
Premi
ครบ
will
เครื่อง
get
ว่ะ
taken down there as the snake bite is enough to go ahead and confirm the kill. That slows up the approach from Talon. Gives them pause
คือ
for
อย่างแรกนะ
the
เห็น
Chip
ผล
Boys.
แน่นอนเลยเรื่อง
Still
การเล่น
lurks
ที่เข้า
right in
ขา
the
ขึ้น
window, but Munchkin seemingly aware of
วู้
it. Cannot find the shot.
จีด
Chip Boys
จิตกุนเงี้ยวโอ้ย
absolutely devastating. Count on
โอ้
two
ยิง
late
กันหลุ
trying
ด
to
แล้ว
find
ยิ
the
งกันหลุ
punch
ด
here
แล้ว
all the time.
แล้วได้ด้วยกูว่าจิตได้ดูดิ
I mean,
เชิ
this
ง
is
ดูเชิง
actually
ดิ
a good read by
ดูเชิงดิ
Gen.G.
ไม่ตายง่ายๆ ให้เขาหาหน่อย
Ult out of
โอ้
the
ย
order when you traded it. It looked like
Hey,
it was going
Jit.
to be good, but then Munchkin loses the 1v1, and all of a sudden you're scrambling.
เอาแล้วได้อีกหนึ่งนะ
Caron
ดูดิโอ้โหตายยากจัง
Toggle set up. Chip Boys keeps himself safe.
ไม่บ้า
And now looks for the punish.
Tao.
Will
Tao
not
lên.
be able to find it.
ไม่เป็นไรได้ข่าวเยอะ
Little
หา
overconfidence
นานนะ
for Jit there.
Caron able to
Thả
go ahead
ra
and
nó
secure
sập
them a
chít.
3v3, but the plant now gets ready to
ดู
come
ดิมันยัง
through.
หาจิตอยู่เลยมั้ง
Still
น่ะ
have this deadlock.
เฮ้ย
Two sonic sensors and a
มันหา
grab
จิต
net
ที่กาลาด
available
อะ
for
แอดอะ
Cruz to try to
Okay.
prevent a retake.
Can't go through heaven. That's cut off by the barrier mesh. And then there's sonic sensors at the door. What do? You got to rely on a lurk. You don't have one.
So they are just going to go ahead and clear this one out. Kahlua position
Mad.
ought to
ล็อก
be
ใคร
good.
ล็อกขา
Grab netted there by his own teammate, but no punish to be
น่าจะเป็น
found.
Neon
Wall going to be set up. Texture
แล้วใครดูข้างบน
dropping
อะ
down out from heaven, able to find one. He's
ส
out
วยดีวะ
wide, however, and
อุ้
Kahlua
ย
will just massacre all
เหี้
three
ย
players.
อีกออด
11 to 5.
FW
Talon
ทั้ง3
running away with this
Pao
map,
Dao.
and it's Gen.G's pick.
This is a treat to watch.
เดี๋ยวไอ้ทีมแม่ง
Talon
ใกล้ละ
in full
ใกล้ละถ้า
control here on
70นี่ใกล้ละเดี๋ยวเสร็จอภิ
I
ญ
mean,
ญา
again,
เดี๋ยว
this
ก่อน
isn't a bad start at
เดี๋ยวตำ
all
แหน่งนั้น
for
เป็นของอ
Gen.G,
ภิญญา
but this
นะ
right
มึง
here is
วุ่นเลยนะ
devastating. Losing Munchkin when he's got the read, he saw the player there.
FW แบบ
A
ใน
nice
วันนั้น
attempt
เล
on the
ย
entry by Texture, but with the post-plant positioning and a great triple there for Killua, forget it. You have all the info as Talon. I mean, you know what to expect, where to expect it, when to expect it, and on top of that, you're winning your
เรีย
duels.
บร้อยเลย
ไอ้เหี้ย
ฟอร์สเวียส
Now
ยุท
they're
ตัวจริงของจริง
trying to
เลย
slow walk their way up
ของจริง
really
เลย
far
ไม่ใช่
forward
ยู
of
อะ
Waterbot. early pop of the nano, so some time bought for rotation. Poison cloud.
อุ้ย
Tiny touch of damage on the cruise.
Yeah, looked like it might have caught a little bit more, but
Mostly connecting into the legs.
Foxy though took some damage as well.
Yeah, he gets the worst of it by a pretty large margin. Those drones just saying hi to each other.
ไม่มีข้อผิดพลาดเลยครับ
Slow rotate over towards C and Gen.G leaning the other way.
ไม่มากมายมหาศาล
There's been so much contact on the other side of the map. They're so quick to rotate. TP's going to go back behind the box. The salvos to cut off the corners.
That rings out the bad news. Deep in the back side, the flash connecting
ดู
Foxy.
ต่ายดิดูเชิงขา
Trying
ดิ
to get himself out of garage. He's been taken down. Texture not needing to do so much here for the squad.
หายสองได้ไง
Does well to come away with a second kill, but
หลบก่อนชิว
you have yourself a 2v3 attempt at a retake here for Gen.G.
ๆแฟดวางดูเด็แฟดแล้ววาง ไม่โดนพี่มี่บอกไม่โดนแม่เย็ด
I should know that he got
โดนอันนี้โดน
connection there.
แม่ดึงให้
Spots
เพื่อน
out Jit Boys.
เฮ้ยจิ๊ก
Knows the position of 2.
ดับเบิลพีก
Spots the head of
โอ้
1.
ไอ้เหี้ยกูบอก
Cannot
เอ้ย
find
กินได้สองด้วยเหรอ
either Jit Boys.
เฮ้ยกินบอยเฮ้ย
Collects them both. Good to see that one back. Talon now up to map point.
Yes, please. Yes, please. Let me see that
ไอ้
from
เชี่ย
Jit's
คือความ
perspective.
ดีของเพลงนี้ของจิกคือมันแนบดึงจังหวะหนึ่งครับ
This is
แล้ว
just
รอ
so
เพื่อนหายมึน
beautiful.
แล้วเอาสองเลยพร้อมกันแบบพีคคู่
ไม่ไหวก็ไม่ไหวก็
ทารอนแม่งคือแบบ
I mean, the play off this
บูมมีสปอร์ตแล้วตอน
concuss.
เนี้ยโอ้โห
So good. But this is such a good play off that concuss by Jit Boys to be patient, to
ไม่
not
เก่งนี่
swing,
ถ้าตกใจอย่างเงี้
to
ย
try to cover his teammate, to just wait until the concuss is going to wear off and they can swing together.
ฟุก
Just phenomenal work here on the
ไม่นิ่ง
Cypher.
ไม่นิ่ง
He
ถ้า
has
นิ่งก็
been
คือธรรม
mostly
ดา
very, very good. I'd say other than that peek up through courtyard against Karan and a couple rounds ago, he's been near flawless. He has been reading the map so well, playing this Cypher so effectively. Great lurks.
ต้องนิ่งแบบ
They
ไม่
are
มีอะไรเกิดขึ้นเฉย
just on point.
ๆโหแต่
See if Primi can be
แม่งดีไปว่ะ
ready
ช็อ
for
ต
that
เมื่อกี้
player up in the tucked into the corner. Haven't seen that yet.
เฮ้ยแล้วเช็คปะเนี่ยเฮ้ย
Thinking about it, but
ละเอียดไปพิมพ์
Karan
เฮ้ยยัง
said he can hide
ตอน
in
เมื่อ
that
กี้มัน
angle.
มอง
There's
นึก
no
ว่าจะ
space.
วางแล้วแทงไอ้เหี้ย
Screen and Talon
แต่เสี่ยงไปครับฉลาด
Getting a
อุ้ย
sense
แล้วไม่
that there's a
ไม่
trap
ตัด
โอ้แล้วไปต่อ
Foxy in a
ตัดไม่
command
ให้โรเทต
spot. We'll find one but cannot get any damage
ไม่
across
เอา
the
วอล
cruise
ตัดไม่ให้โร
back.
เทตครับ
อุ้ย
Now
โคม
one away from having
Oh,
that
Right team.
annihilation on a line. Munchkin finding
อุ้ยรู้
kill, but again the
เฮ้ย
trade
เข้ามาแล้ว
exchange.
ชิง
United
โดน
gonna be
โอ้
sent down.
เชียร์ทีม
A banking shot into the corner.
What?
เฮ้ยตั้งใจ
Amazing that one hit, but Karan, he's dead.
ผม
He's got 3. Primi's looking for the rest.
มารัวชัวร์หน่อย
1v1. The push in and Texture barely stays alive. Gen.G will get up to 6, but they need 6 more in a row just to take it into
ที่ไป
overtime.
โดน
Oh,
เต็ม
man.
ตั้งใจดิ
I want to. Do
ตั้ง
we
ใจ
have
ปะวะ
like a
Keep it
wide
linked with
view
them.
of that
Yeah.
animation? I want to see like the
ถ้า
bird's
หัน
eye
ขวา
view
ยิง
of
ก็
that.
จบแล้วปะวะทำไมต้อง
Just gonna hit
ท่า
shots like
เท่ด้วยวะ
that. Give Minnesota fans a run for his money. He should be
แล้วถ้ารู้ว่าอยู่ตรงนั้นก็หันขวา
นี่
กด
มันรู้ตัว
He did that on purpose. Yeah.
Okay.
Incredible.
ใช่เปล่า
We didn't
ที
see
ม
much, but he
ใช่เปล่า
just
มึง
at
ยอม
the
รับ
end.
มาดีกว่า
Going in
หัน
towards
ขวายิง
That's reality.
มึงอาจ
That's
จะ
what
ไม่
I
ตาย
thought.
ก็
That's
ได้
what I
เพราะว่า
thought,
ไม่ต้อง
but
ชิง
he
จังหวะหนึ่ง
adjusted just a little bit. Incredible.
ยังไง
All right, well,
มึงยอมรับมาดีกว่า
with that round win, Gen.G they call their last time out.
เอามึงคิดดูถ้ามันชิงหนึ่งจังหวะใช่ไหมไอ้เหี้ยทีมโดนยิงตายแต่ถ้าไม่ชิงเลยจะเป็นยังไงอะ
In a real
ตั้งใจเปล่าเถอะ
to try to get these 6 in a row, or to just quell whatever nerves
ตรงๆมัน
and
โดน
issues may be cropping up here in the
โดนไหม
comms and get them ready for a next
โดน
map.
ปะวะ
โดน
Yeah, for sure.
โดนนะ
I mean,
ถ้าไม่โดน
sometimes
ก็
as a coach
ฮัลโหลอะไรออดได้เลย
You know, you still have that
เป็นนัน
timeout.
ติที่ต้อง
Might
ชิง
as well
งั้นเหรอ
use it to. I mean, again, this is one of the situations where I feel like Solo should have pulled the trigger on this a few rounds ago, but to at least try to stabilize the team's mentality, get them ready, see if they can string a few more rounds together, get some confidence going into Icebox. Because right now it is all talent all the time.
ใช่ไหม
For the
ทีม
most
ใช่ไหม
part.
บอกบุมดิ
เปอร์เซ็นต์ละ
Few glimpses of hope here and there,
เดี๋ยว
but
เดี๋ยวถาม
once
ให้
again,
เดี๋ยวถาม
Primi
ให้
has the
เดี๋ยว
outlaw,
แอบไป
sees
ถาม
the
ให้
economic situation that
จังหวะ
Gen.G is
ถามให้
in.
จัง
Only
หวะ
Texture
ติด
can
นี้
get the full armor through, so he can continue
ต้อง
to
มีคำตอบ
abuse
ต้องมีคำตอบ
that weapon.
ตั้ง
And
ใจ
they have a
ชิ
ton
ง
of
พี่
ults.
4 half armors.
They're one away from Primi's.
ทีมมาต่อแล้วเหรอ
Primi just strafing
เฮ้ย
in.
แอดเฮ้ยได้
Disrespects
ว่ะ
all the util Ash blinded up dead
ได้
on
ว่ะ
the
ได้
jump.
What a
ได้
play.
ได้
โอ้ย
Salvo
โอ้ไฟไล่
saved it,
โอ้
flush him
ไอ้
out.
จีว่ะ
Foxy picked apart, textures well tagged.
ไอ้ที่นั่นไม่โดนไฟไล่ฟ็อกซี่อ่ะ
Is the end
มัน
of
เป็นไอ้นั่นไม่ใช่เหรอ
Haven.
นีออน
As
เนี่ย
will go on, Munchkin far too late to find anything. The neural depth
เฮ้ย
will tell
บล็
all.
อกไม่ให้ไปบล็อกกวนตีนนี่
He is just
กวนตีนนี่
strafing in along
กวน
his
ตีนนี่
back.
โอ้ย
Jumps
โอ้
out,
โหไอ้เหี้
playing
ย
the
แม่งเล่น
strike,
กับแชม
playing
ป์เก่าอย่างนี้
the
เลยเหรอ
tag,
วะ
giving over
เฮ้ย
his
นั่น
HP
มัน
bar.
กินนะเว้ย
Secure the kill.
เหี้ยดูเหมือนโดนแกล้งไปในหนุ่ยเลย
You're a damn good player. But I think this is a bridge
Oh.
too far. 13-6, Talon. Looking absolutely electric. Have every correct answer
เรียบร้อย
to
ว่ะ
every
ทารอน
problem
ว่ะ
thrown to them here
แล้ว
by
เดินล้วงเป่า
Gen.G
แอ
on
คนะ
Gen.G's map pick of Haven. Now
Mình
we
làm
get
cái này
ready to
thì
go
còn
into Icebox
thêm
where
à?
Talon will be looking
Tươi lên
to
mấy.
send
Vâng
Gen.G down to that lower bracket.
Yeah, I mean, the desk was talking about the improvements that both of these teams have made, but Talon is starting to gain a lot of distance ahead of their opponents. They are really coming together nicely now. With this all-tie roster, it is starting to fire on all cylinders. They're getting ready to lock their opponents at this point.
ระหว่างพักครับ
เตรียมด้วย
เอาไปก่อนที่พี่ธนูแล้วกันพิกกี้มีทุกร้านไม่รู้ทำไมนะครับที่ร้านที่แกไปกินน่าจะมีพิกกี้ทุกร้าน
ดูมี
นึกว่าแอดจะเข้าวันที่ 3 เดี๋ยวค่อยแอดดีกว่าค่อยแอดรอใกล้ๆนะซุปเปอร์ทาวน์ยังไม่ได้ปิดไปไหนนะ ไปปรับปรุงอยู่วันที่ 3 เจอกันดูดิ
กินเลยดีกว่าอีกเรื่องเลยโคตรตุ๋ยเลยว่ะลองเบิ่งภาษาไงครับปากกายออยู่มั้งรุนแรงเลยนี่ไปดูกันครับผมคนที่เขากันก่อน
รุนแรงเลยนี่
เกี่ยวเลยถึงนี้กระเทียมด้วย
อ้าวลุย
มันจะมียังไงวะกินกระเทียมกับพริกเปล่าๆมัน
เปิดหัวเปิดตอบครับอันเยี่ยนะครับเดี๋ยวเลยแสบคือบันก่อนหน่อยไกลครับผมสู้จะด้านนี้ด้านแบบกระลุกสิ้นแล้ว
ไปครับพี่น้อง
ผลดูสีนี่
เสียบ
สีนี่คือร้านนี่มัน
เพื่อนเอาผักมาให้แก้มแค่นั้นนะแล้ว
กลัวเราสิแขน
ก็มากินในบ้านตัวเองก็ได้กินหรือไหม
คุยอะไรกันวะเดี๋ยวนะ
ก็เก่งที่จะคิดกลัวเราสิแขน
ก็มากินในบ้านตัวเองก็ได้กินหรือไหม
เรียบร้อยเลยกูคิดแม่ยิ่งกว่าภาษาอังกฤษ
จัดมาครับผมได้กินเลยครับโชว์หน่อยอะไรก็รัสซิแขกวะครับผมแบบนี้
ซึ่งภาษาอีสานฟังยากจะตายเลยว่ะ
ตัวรัสซิแขกเดี๋ยวติดคอเอ้ามีคนฟังออกนะ
มันสมัครนะเพื่อน
จริงดูดิเอาเป็นเสียงเดียวกันแสดงว่าใช่สามวันแล้วโรมาซิแขกเดี๋ยวติดคอครับโรมาซิแขกมากครับเส้นเลยเยอะ
พวกมึงรู้ได้ไงวะเก่งวะ เป็นภาษาอีสานนี่คือมันเป็นภาษาแยกออกไปเลยไม่เหมือนกับพวกเป็นสำเนียงภาคใต้คนสุพรรณอะไรอย่างเงี้ยแต่แบบพอฟังได้บ้าง
มิตรภาพดีครับผมพี่ผมเดือด
อ้าวจบแล้ว
ไอ้อะใครทำอะไรอยู่แล้วเนี่ย
ไม่ลงหลายวันใช่ไหม
เก็บฝั่งนู้น
เซ็งว่ะ
คนแม่งลิงกันเยอะเกินไอ้เหี้ย
เงี้ยวเงี้ยวเงี้ยวเงี้ยว
ตัวเทพหัวควาย
ทีหน้าที
นะ
ใช่ไหม
ไม่จริง
บ้านแตกแล้วใช่ไหม
แตกเหรอ
ไม่แตก
ไม่แตก
อยู่ดีกินดีเลย
เออ
รอนี่ผมจะจบผมจะจบละ
หายใจก่อนไปหายใจก่อน let's go ทีมงาน
นี่ไงหายใจตลอดเล
เข้าย
นะ
สุด1 2 3หายใจ
เข้า
เข้า
สุดนะ
โทมัสซิแคก
แล้วเห็นผลนะ
เข้า
เห็นผลนะ
ออก
อยู่นี่ไม่สอบ
let's go ขอเสียงหน่อยเว้ย energy หน่อยเว้ยไอ้เงี้ย
ได้
Hey
just one small thing okay good luck guys
เอาเว้ย
ก็ไหนเว้ย
มีเฮียเสียเลย
วันสปอร์ติ้ง
really remember at the end of the round
Yeah,
communicate what went wrong what we can change
จ้ะ
all right let's go
เท่าดีโดนอยู่
เขากลางหายไปแล้ววางได้วางเปิด
ก็ตีนะก็ตี
ตั้ง
เปิด
ตั้ง
แล้
เต็
ว
ม
นะ
เรา
ไม่ค่อยเปิดเท่าไหร่
กีตาร์ลง
มีมุมให้กู้นะ
เฮ้ยวางไม่ค่อยดีวางไม่ค่อยดี
นั่นไง
เฮ้ยกดกู้แล้วป่ะล่ะ
กูก็รู้นะ
เขารีบแล้ว
ไปไหนน้อยบอล
เล่นให้หมดเลยเล่นให้หมดเลยเรารีบต่อเรา
เขาเรียกเลย
รถแปด
เพื่อนเอง
เล่นเลยล็อกขวาล็อกขวาล็อกซ้ายอยู่
สกิน
โอ้ย
เพื่อน
โอ้ยเหี้ยเอาดิ
มันแปดโดนหน้ากันเองอ่ะ
ไปคิวลงมาดิคิวลงมาเอาดันแม่งกันคิวเลนกลางกัน
ลองสายไกลอ่ะ
ดัน
ลองสายไกลกล่อง
พอแล้วถอยเลย
ไม่เห็น2มิดลองเอเดิน
ถอย
ตัวเลิกตาย
มันได้ยิงเติร์ดบีระวังเอ
เฮ้ยในทูพี่ในทูกี่จอย
ไปเอาตัวมีให้หมดเลยได้ป่ะปล่อยไซเลย
มาเดี๋ยวพี่ดูอยู่เดี๋ยวนะเจนความมันได้พี่ทีมลองเอเดินพี่ใส่ตัดเดย์ไปโดนลงไปเพื่อนกล้องเช็คได้เที่ยววาง
รอกูมีโดนอย่ารีบกูมีโดน
วางมาดันนะ
โดนให้โดนเลยบนท็อปไซด์ตัวหนึ่งเอาหนึ่งเมื่อเปิดบอลแล้วเราคอนแทคเข้าคอนแทคเข้ามาตามมา
เพื่อน
ไปข้างบน
ภาษาแม่ง
อยู่เลย
ท็อปไซด์
ผลเลย
ท็อปไซด์ได้
คิวพูดกับตอนที่อยู่กับโค้ช
สวยใครได้รับกัน
มึงนึกช็อตถึงไอ้ที่ไอ้นั่นโดดลงไปปั๊บแล้วมันก็บอกว่าไอ้กล้องมันกำลังจะเจอนะเพื่อน
พูดเยอะ
ไม่รอเปิดออฟกลางไว
แน่นอนภาษา
ได้ถูกได้มิดสเปซ
ยอด
มันมีดมีKO เสียมีดไปแล้ว
ถ้าไม่เปลี่ยนนะบอกเลยคาร์ลอนไม่อยู่ตรงนี้
อีกตัวไม่น่าจะมิด2 B3 น่าจะยกมา
ได้อะ
บีตัวนึงบีเก็บลูกแก้วดูให้หน่อยใครว่าง
มีเฉลยมิดอยู่มันเด
กูจะโดนใจเย็น
บอยหน่อยมืดบอยหน่อยขอได้คิวเข้าแล้วเข้าไฟแล้วมารีบไประวัง
รอเล่นด้วยกันวางนะ
วางกลางมันเอาวางนะรับไฟอ่ะเจ็ดวางเทโฮหาย
กูมารีบบนซ้ายไป
หน้า2เลยเข้าไฟ
เดินกันกูตัน
เลยไฟอุ้ยไอ้ไฟเอาเดี๋ยวเก็บ
ปืนกูดิการเดียนอ่ะ
มาเล่นกันครับติดคมเลยอ่ะ
สวยเดี๋ยวชนะพกว่องไม่แพ้อีโคแล้วก็มีความสุขถ้าเรานี้ชนะอีกจะมีความสุขมากเทโจอยู่บีนะเทโจเสร็จโดนไปแล้วมันเสียอะไรบ้างเก่งที่
มันแค่มีด
โดนต่อ
มีดใกล้จะมีแล้วมันใกล้มีมีดแล้ว
มันออฟแล้ว
กับเอป่ะเนี่ย
ไม่มีคน
ขับเออะ
ฟอสบอกในพอดแคสต์ว่าลุงทีมบอกว่ามีกล้องตอนเจอทีวันได้แบนกลับมา
ต้องเล่นก่อนวะเล่นในไฟนะ
ตัวอะไร
แบนไม่แย่
หลบมีดก่อนคือหลบมีดก่อนอ่ะมีหลบมีด
มีหนึ่งเดียวเลย
บอลเลย
ยังอยู่เลย
โอ้พอกับอาร์ตแล้วกัน
ไวเปอร์ไม่กลับนะ
เทียใกล้ๆกัน
ไวเปอร์ตุ๋ย
ราคาอย่าเก่ง
ไวเปอร์อยู่หลัง
อ่านมากกว่าโค้ช
ไวเปอร์จะขออยู่
อาร์ตมากกว่าโค้ชอีกเหรอ
เคียว
มากกว่าอาร์ต
ใจเย็นรีเทคกูขอร้อง
ฟังต้องดัน
บอลดีฟอลต์
ยังล็อกอยู่ล็อกขวานะพี่กองต่อไป
มืดมาเดินนำหน่อยมืด
อาร์ตปาร์ตอาร์ตธรรมดาเนี่ยไอ้เหี้ยอาร์ตDFMเนี่ยเหี้ย
ไม่โบ
โอ้ย
ทีมไม่เกมวะเกมไหนไม่จบเลย
let's go
เจ้าพี่
อีกการรวม
เจ้าใจเย็นคุณ
เมโกแบนไปจอยอยู่นู่นมันเอากู
บอลเลียอะไรไอ้คิวมันแดนช่วยไม่ได้
กัดได้
ไม่มีของตัวหนึ่งกลางตัวหนึ่งเฮ้ยล็อกกลางให้พี่หน่อยเดี๋ยวพี่จะ
ไฟมันเดา
มันวางแล้วบอก
เอาได้วางอ่ะ
ยี่วิกซูเทคแม่งกู
ไปเมฆตัวเสร็จละ
เฮียแพ้วิกซูเทค
พี่จอย
อยู่กลางด้วย
กันพี่ใจเย็น
อยู่เยลโล่
สวยอันติอย่างนั่นเอาไปไหนหรอกแม่งจะพีคไปยิงไอคิวแม่งจะพีคไปยิงไอคิวพี่อันติตายอันติตายทำเสร็จโดนไปจริงไงเดินกันเนี่ยโกเลย
ว่าเด็ก
จะเปิดออฟหรอกเดี๋ยวแฟดจะ
อย่างนี้ไหวอะบูมแล้วเนี่ยถ้าวันนี้แม่งเป็นอย่างนี้นะ
เพราะกูดันหลังเพื่อนไม่ต้องรีบตายที่มิดขอร้อง
แต่บูม
ไม่
ไม่
ต้องรี
ได้
บตายที่เขารีวิวพอดาวเข้าไม่ได้
5 คน1 หัวบูมมีสปอร์ต
แวบอยู่
เกี่ยอะไรวะแม่ง
ลู
คิด
กกระสุนจะตายพอ
แม่งโหด
ฝาแกงพอแล้วไฟให้ปล่อยกูเลยล็อกขวาอยู่เก่ง
ปล่อยกูเลยเจ้าเอ็ดนี่หิวเอ็ดนี่เว้ยแล้วมาเลยเพิ่งดูมาเมื่อกี้
more standard comp. We are seeing them stick with that KO, but you know, Munchkin has a real strong record on that KO texture on the Yoru. We saw his Yoru last week, I believe. Wasn't entirely convinced, so he needs a better performance at today. But ultimately, not too many rifts on this Gen.G side. Only small adaptations on the current map.
I mean, texture on the Yoru on a map that you don't see Yoru as a core agent a lot is an interesting one. He must really be backing himself on this agent lately.
I don't know, he's smiling. He's smiling over there, just like our audience are smiling right now because we're about to step into Icebox, our second map here. And does this go over to Talon or can Gen.G come back? We're going to find out as we toss it on over to Achilles and Paper Thin.
Thank you very much. Well, some new sights here. It would seem Harbor, something that we have not seen at all in Pacific this year, comes out. Bit of a classic one here from Jit Boys. Granted, you know, has played it in the past, not to a huge amount. I think it's his 7th game on it. And for texture, similarly, 2nd game on the Yoru. So, some big changes. But for the side of Talon, curious to see how they pilot this. You and I were talking about it as we saw this come through. They don't have any flashes.
None. And you've got a bunch for Gen.G. So you got to find those timings,
well, that
boy.
is a huge reveal.
โอ้ย
The dark challenge impossible. Texture, however, able to trade one back. Foxy and Prim both going to be left on the floor.
You can already see some of the ideas with the cast.
เอ้ย
Try to cover
พอแล้วเต้
the retreat after the pick,
บอก
but
เพื่อนมึงทำเลยดี
too quick. Where Gen.G to
สวัส
respond.
ดีครับคุณทนาย
So not bad so far. Scaling their way up towards A. Our Gen.G has to be left open by Killua. He's the only player there. Good read by the open space here for Gen.G. Nano popped, but Gen.G still hadn't made their way through. This is buying time for the rotations at the very least. The Viper wall as well helping out. So Gen.G gonna have to find some good value out of those flashes, but Talon seemingly aware they're just playing outside the site.
Shock darts at the ready here for the plant. Lands right in Ash's face.
เต็มเบ้าเลยเฮีย
That is going to be a huge chunk of damage as he falls down to 25
การ
health.
บ้านตอนที่จะวางนี่เยอะจริงๆนะทารอน
Being noted and dealt with. Karan snapping on the shots, is able to find Kai. As texture peeks over towards screens and Jit Boys will fall as well. Gen.G looking well poised to close out. Another pistol here for themselves as will still be able to put that sheriff to good use.
อุ้ยหลงเลย
Timing on the Munchkin as he
เฮ้ย
suddenly
ทีม
it's all being undone. Texture dead.
ผู้ทีมเฮ้ย
and
พี่ทีม
Cruz
ทำได้ไงวะ
has absolutely saved
พี่
them.
ทีมหิวจัด
Thousands kill accrued as well.
พี่ทีม
Congratulations.
แม่งเล่นเหมือนแบบ
as Talon
รุ่นๆเลยอ่ะ
collected
แบบ
another
ยุค
wins.
ยิกอ่ะ
Stealing this from Gen.G.
Oh, what a round to get it.
มันโดดขึ้นไปได้ไงวะ
Hits the 1,000 mark. Great opener by Primi. Reaction from Gen.G there, but the delay with the nano swarm and the toxic screen.
ดูยุคโอ้โหไม่มีโชว์เทคนิคการโดดหน่อยหรอ
Send out some shock darts.
อะไรนี่หลงอะไรของ
Munchkin
เขา
just
วะ
not ready.
ก็มันแตะ
Oh,
มันแตะสลิงฝั่งนี้ไม่ใช่เหรอวะ
That one's on me, gang. That was
แม่
definitely
พัน
my
คิวนะ
cast first this time around.
โอ้พันคิวนะ
I can't
คนอื่น
really
ก็ไป
point
2-3
the
พัน
finger
แล้ว
at Sliggy here.
You've been borrowing some of Chronicle's powers over in the LCK.
Yeah, apparently.
โอ้
Chronicler,
yeah. Sorry, Chronicle is the
ได้
player.
ของเล่นแล้วได้
เล่
ขอน ง
มา
เล่นแล้ว
3 ปี
Chronicler is the caster.
เล่นมา 3 ปี
both go to their own right. And it's Premi up and over top, able to find one. It's to take it down.
คิวคนสุดท้าย
And Kahlua just holds it down this under 2
ใช่เหรอ
position. Foxy 9 not able to get a look through.
ว่าไอ้เหี้ยอาร์ตน่าจะ200อยู่มั้งตอนนี้
Quick clear by Karan with a sheriff.
อันนั้น2,000แล้วเนี่ย
Leave. Foxy had a sheriff that he dropped as well. Below the tube. A little bit of investment.
เฮ้ย
Gen.G.
เอาเทอร์บไรเซอร์
Oh, Killua so far ahead of this. Is
เฮ้ย
anybody?
ระวังตัวหน่อย โอ้ยเขาเข้ามาแล้วเพื่อน
Just tucked into the side here.
เช็คดิมึงเช็คมึงได้แดกเลยกูบอกให้มุมนั้นอะ
Yeah, I mean they're just so
เช็คหน่อย
locked in
นิดนึง
position.
นิดนึง
Fortunate for them,
เช็ค
Cruz
แน่
just got a
เช็คแน่
stinger playing from Snowman.
เช็คแน่
They're just waiting for the
Check
toxic
now.
to come back up before they
Check.
make their move.
Shocktarts, however,
Check.
still can find value as Munchkin nearly gets picked
Check.
apart.
Oh, what
Push
a
in,
check.
Caron on the swing. Doesn't manage to come away with a second kill, so some damage
Yeah,
starting to
we
be
got
dealt
something.
here.
Last player standing.
As Ty, though,
Bye, bye.
quickly with that Guardian in hand, be able to mask the remaining two players. Carves them up nice and quick. And that is going to be, Guardian, Outlaw.
อะไรพี่
Cruz is going to be stuck with a stinger carried forward here as we go into Talon's bonus round.
Yeah, this is not bad damage done by Gen.G in the long run. Karan with some snappy shots onto the Sheriff. That Outlaw continuing to find value for Primi. And with a couple Sheriff spot, that Outlaw still in play. Going to be interesting to see what the buy looks like coming out for
ส
Gen.G.
วยตายสวย
How much do they have?
เก่งครับ
Only one player there.
เก่งมากตาย
Regen shield.
จะไล่
Foxy 9, so everybody is able to find the full armors. It's good management, a couple sheriffs otherwise for Talon. They're getting aggressive.
แหวะเหอะ
Dark cleared
อุ้ย
out
เจ็บ
shots.
หนึ่ง
Do end up
Ui.
connecting here as Munchkin able to get the transfer.
เฮ้ย
Talon
เอา
fine
ดี
too.
มันกินไอ้เหี้ย
Before getting traded
เป้า
out.
อย่าง
So
ก็แฮกไอ้สัตว์
close to being a 3v3
แม่งดูด
position
เข้าไป
here, but
เล
given the
ย
weaponry, Gen.G a bit more of a comfortable position for now.
แม่งดูดเข้าไปเลย
Pretty quick to move over though. Just a little bit of contact, especially with that drone not seeing anything. Cruz as well now, sliding a bit further back. See if Talon can do any more damage here. Texture so low after getting hit by the Outlaw.
โอ้ยอัมเบล่าสี่ไอ้นี่เหรอ
อัมเบลา
Give it away here. Stealth drone as well to clear. Needs to be pretty clean for Gen.G.
เบลา
Premium position.
เอ
Placing swamp
มาคัดแดชฟอร์ด
They're lobbed in, no one there for the
Nice.
plant to receive the damage.
Oh,
Shot from
team.
Primmy, getting offset a bit there by the movement, not quite prepared for it, so Ash is able to collect one.
วางแล้ว
spike.
ไม่ให้กลับ
Like now planted.
ไอ้เชี่ยเดี๋ยวนะฝาก
Guardian and Sheriff here for Clue and Cruz. I see if they can spot anything out, but everyone from Gen.G disconnected back over behind yellow and around green.
กระสุนหมดเลยเฮ้ย
As up and over the top, spot out on the one. Does get a headshot across on the Foxy 9, at least will force
เอ็นติ
potentially an armor rebuy. He's got the regen shield. Either way, solid cleanup. Just the one casualty here for Gen.G as they deny the bonus conversion.
ดูตรงนี้ได้วะ
Okay,
ดูได้อะไร
starting to be a little bit more methodical here. Our Gen.G very ready for that push out.
แต่เรียนตามตรงเลยนะไม่ชอบหน้าฮาบอร์ว่ะ
Munchkin able to find two
เหี้ยเตโอ
very
เบิร์ดแพ
impactful
นโหด
kills.
กว่า เยอะเลย
Are in there, swings out at the end. So okay,
แต่ฮาบอร์ก็จะ
not
ได้เรื่อง
bad
การ
from Gen.G, but I'm
วาง
still
ที่
seeing good
ง่าย
reads from
ขึ้น
Talon.
มีสองม่านเข้าทำง่าย
I think you could just take Karen's
แต่ก็
yells
มี
Yeah.
and just put him over like anything.
มีม่านสองม่านไว้
Yeah.
รีเทค
It sounds like he could be getting horrendously injured,
I mean,
or he could just be excited. Like,
yeah. Well,
It's
you
it's
know,
the same sound.
if this was EMEA, it'd just be highlights of him screaming after the matches,
พี่โจ
which is a choice.
ตัว
My
แม่งโกง
internal
เนี่ย
dialogue every time I see a tech pause. Scream.
Or texture malding after not getting the ace.
Yeah.
นี่มีโดนด้วยของดีนี่หว่า
Okay. Drone
แต่พี่ธนูว่ะเพิ่งเห็น
caught or
Nice.
secured. Ult online for Munchkin. So maybe going to be able to bully their way to a plant. Foxy has to be diligent,
เออว่ะ
ensure that he's tracking the lurks, but
เล่นธนู
เอ็นมีมาก
got the turret as well to
Oh,
make sure if they
good
push
job.
through two, but just got cleared.
Your point to B,
Yeah,
though,
yeah,
pretty
yeah.
much confirms that this is where the hit's going to go, so now the wall gets set up. Strafing across, Karen trying to lead the charge here, take some space forward. As Ash is able to find one. Tiger
Ui,
noted Ash
Ed,
turn sights
Ikea.
up above, and Jit Boy's
ขนาด
taking
นั้น
it
เลยเหร
down
อ
as
แอ
well.
ด
Looked like Jit was going to be able to find a solid time to get some damage through.
โหสวยนะว่า
Gen.G now in a good spot as it's a blind shot connecting onto Primmy. Not much damage going to be dealt, but
โอ้
given
โห
that they have the op
ไม่ดีไม่
committed
ดี
here,
ไม่
it
ดี
looks like the
ไม่
call to
ดี
save is
แล้
already going to be
ว
made. So Gen.G will tie things up at 2-2.
มันเบรกแพน
Cruz
ไม่ค่อย
little
ดีอะเด็ก
back in, trying to see if he can find any extra punish, but widely Gen.G are now well poised to go ahead and secure a flawless round.
Yeah, what a round for Ash. Gonna have his ult for the next round too. Just breaks things open for Gen.G. The map control though pretty well under Gen.G's purview for most of that round, especially with Foxy being able to watch for the lurks, whether that be through mid
วะ
or across the belts. You have that under control. So Gen.G able to scale forward very nicely, use that Munchkin ult, get themselves through. So the ult cycle looking good potentially here for Gen.G as well. It's encouraging news if you're a Gen.G fan. After how rough things went for them on Haven. This is a map that you haven't seen from Gen.G yet this year. So we weren't really too sure what to expect. Kind of starting to see some of the ideas formulate. And they're able to keep the op though. Our Talon, as the buy look behind us is my big question right now as we get a quick look at all the players. So a couple Guardians had to be bought down by Talon. And able to hang on that very important op, trying to set up for it. You do clear the knife at least. But, you know, Gen.G already doing a little pre-fire to check. That angle held. Need some good flashes to clear that. We're a drone potentially here from Ash. Might be able to get that out early. Japoy's right there to back up Primi. Throw out that cascade if necessary.
Just burning the tailwind. Backpedaling here as quickly as they can. All coming up. It seems like Gen.G relatively happy with that pressure, but the lurk from Charon is going to be noted. Weapon swapped out. As Ty just going to be looking for the quick little exit here.
They've done such a good job with this of Talon. Get the one and dones. Don't overcommit, don't overheat.
Ty on the swing out, finds the headshot. Texture dead, solid damage dealt, ensuring that they maintain that player advantage at least for the moment, but Foxy9 this time.
นี่โดนทีมง่ายไป
Finishes the job there.
ร้อน
Now we go into a 3v3. Armageddon clear out over towards Snowman. Holds Jit Boys back, plant now. Getting dropped in. Further ults to speak of.
To be really good with this Harbor util and the Soba util and a shot from Munchkin.
Pop flash.
Nice.
Absolutely perfection. Or absolute perfection, one should say.
โอ้แย่แล้วว่ะ
As Jit Boy similarly going to be taken down, and now Primi is looking to hold on to the
เพราะแม่ง
operator.
มีปืนแม่งโกรธเลยครับ Gen.G
The round just a bit out of touch, and they are in position to go ahead and find this punish as well. Just trying to confirm presences. Foxy, barrel just not quite spotted. Won't be able to see him, but now can turn his sights back, and as he goes for the updraft to exit, Foxy is there to shoot him out of the sky. 3 in a row, Gen.G now in the lead.
Yeah, they're looking really good right now. See when Talon wants to think about a timeout. Been pretty quick to pop him, especially with Killua. Finding 2 kills, Ty and Killua, I should say, finding a kill apiece, but a good lurk by Foxy9 finds a ton of value under 2, but that gives Gen.G the confidence that they need, the safety that they need to push forward on towards the B site. The very impactful kill, and yeah, timeout right away. I like this a lot from Talon. The coaching staff being very proactive, not liking what they see. I mean, I think just a lot of the early rounds to me looked pretty good with their
แปลกห
ability
น่อย
to
ๆถึง
take
ปาน
mid
กลาง
control.
ครับตอนนี้
But that round they seeded over. Foxy punishes them on a kill that turns the tide potentially. Not able to find any value out of that op either, so Gen.G doing a great job. Talon win easy.
Talon's first 2-0. Good thing. From Singapore, just won a full series, 6.5 hours for VCT Pacific. They don't care who wins.
They just
want their money's worth on the ticket.
Well,
we're usually pretty good at delivering that.
Yeah, I was gonna say I came into today expecting 6 maps for sure, with how good all these teams are, how tight everything was across both groups, and you know, poor Talon. Just, at least they've gotten the first map jitters out of the way. They've been able to win a couple of those now.
Very true.
Early flash to try to counter that lurk we saw in the previous round from Gen.G.
Needing Jit Boys to start getting activated though. Not on the board quite just yet.
ถ้าบอกไม่เวิร์ก
Such
หร
a
อกยังน้อง
huge delay on trying to get that reckoning online. Still
ต้อง
one
รอ
charge
ดูตอน
off
บุ
of
ก
it.
ครับน่าจะได้เรื่อง
Triple
เกม
stack
เด้งตอน
defend
เลือกโอ้
B. Seems
ถ่ายแล้ว
like whether it's Haven or Icebox, Gen.G.
แต่ตอนนี้ไม่ได้
They're
อะ
in the B
ถ้า
site
บอก
today.
เว้ย
ไม่ค่อยอุ้ยได้ยิน
As
เสียง
some
โอ้โห
noise
ดังโค
made.
ม
Palua on the timing, looking for the hit there, unable to find it. Turn back from Texture, able to find one. As Munchkin also gets a piece of the action.
ไม่ได้เลยดิประเด็น
As Jit Boys able to avoid the stun, avoids the fragment.
ไม่
stays
เจอ
tucked away, just the
ไม่เจอ
classic
Jit
in hand,
Boy
but now does have that reckoning with that kill.
The drone missing.
I don't think he's been spotted by anything.
อุ้ย
No
จิต
one
ได้
is
หมดนะ
lending any credence
จิต
to
ทาง
his
ขวาดิเจอ
position
หมดเลย
at
น้อง
all until that very moment. Sorry,
Duh.
Jit. Didn't mean to curse you. Foxy trying to readjust his Cruz good
โอ้
for the
แม่ง
white
กลาย
swing.
เป็นตัวตลกเลยเฮียแม่งหัวเราะย้อยใหญ่เลย
Timeout call not going to lead to a
ได้
plan
ไอ้
from
สัต
to
ว์
enact here as we go into the next rifle round.
เอาหันมาเฮียคนไทยก็ห้าเหมือนกัน
Finally able to get that online, but
เฮียแม่งกลายเป็นตัวตลกเลย
Primi, it looks like. And just a delayed push out from Talon. Gen.G playing very, very patient today. I mean, that is one thing I can say is Gen.G is being very slow at the beginning of these rounds. They're looking for aggression. They're looking for those players. They were just losing a lot of those lurk
แต่แย่ไป
battles.
ว่ะจิต
The 1v1s, you know, if you saw the first kill stats from Haven, it was so heavily in Talon's favor. Texture though on the exploration mission.
Spotted out 3, and that basically does clear the site. Doesn't even check over towards 410, so doesn't even necessarily have that confirmed. As Talon will flush him out to the open, but instantly hits the headshot. Does eat a
โอ้แล้วแม่
big
ง
chunk
ได้
of
ออก
damage
ด้วย
here in
โอ้แล้ว
response.
แฝกใครวะ
And Kahlua dead, just trying to
Yeah.
from the Raptors. Once again, given that they have this op committed, now that the pin's
ก็ต้อ
in
งแฝก
play,
มา
I
แล้วแหละ
think
ฝั่ง
Talon
เรา
is
ไม่
going to
มี
have
แฝ
to
ก
save.
Yeah, you could try to use the Reckoning to clear it, but numbers already not in your favor.
They're going to swap over. Texture pop flash going to be sent, gets a full hit onto Jit Boys, and now the Reckoning cannot come into play. Shorty, a bit of damage, just under the shoulder there of Tai, so for the
โอ้
most part,
แพ้เลยแบบนี้ไอ้เหี้ย
เฮ้ยแพ้แล้วเหรอ
แพ้แล้ว
but they're still playing up into
กู
this.
ไม่เห็นไม่ได้เก่งเลยเนี่ยไอ้ขี้ฮาบอเนี่ย
Another purchase here to Talon, but
แหนความสามารถมันวะ
seems like in the end, yeah, updraft just to go for the exit.
คิดว่าจะเอามารีทงรีเทค
See if he can try to catch anybody in
Oh, die.
transit. Spots him
Oh,
out, has
made
the
it
headshot
save.
onto one. A one-way setup from Primi as he bounces out towards safety. We'll be able to hold on to the weapon, but Gen.G staving them off, not allowing for the timeout to lead to a win.
And now you're seeing those flashes really come into play. Munchkin and Texture using them beautifully in the post plant and to set up the plant. This is a great one right here.
แฟดมันพอดีพอดีจังวะเพิ่งเดินออกมาโดนเฉยเลย
Goes bounding out of the smoke.
ชิบาย
How is he?
He's just a kid.
I can't believe his energy.
He's having fun.
เฮ้ยโอ้โหดูลิคอนดิ
He's so into
เฮีย
it.
ลิคอนโคตรสูดอ่ะ
Pinged.
เฮียลิคอนใหม่เว้ยไม่ให้ยิง แล้วก็ไม่ให้ขึ้น ดีนะ
Yeah.
ดีนะ
There's no op.
ปกติคนข้างล่างจะยิงให้ต้องขึ้นไปยิงข้างบน
Maybe he was begging them to kill Primi.
Yeah, I think that was it. That's my guess. I would have loved to have gotten that op out of their hands. Couldn't quite get there. Now being a little bit tricky on the map are Gen.G.
ดูลิที่ต้องถือมีดวิ่งขึ้นไปอะเร็วๆแต่ก็ต้อง
Again, Talon
ต้อ
has
ง
to
ลง
play
เพราะว่า
offsite.
ข้างล่างยิงช่วยไม่ได้ต้องยิง
Too
เอง
dangerous for them to try to contest around 410, around Nest because of the flashes. I mean, Cruz is
ห
taking
รื
a
อไม่
peek,
ก็
but
ยิงเฟลไม่มีอะไร
at the
ไม่
safety of the screens. Nanos
Don't-
popped, one on top of the
ต้องรอ
box
ดูร
there.
อบหน้าเพิ่งเคย
Forced players away from the plant site. He's
Bye.
momentarily.
ยิง
Gen.G though, trying to figure out what's going on around them.
เร็วเลยวะ
Pop flash from Texture just in case there was an
เออ
interruption attempt.
เอ้ยขอบคุณครับพี
Not come through this time.
ธนา
Reckoning and the lockdown.
appreciate it มาแล้วฮาบอ
The retake
ฮา
here.
บอ
Honestly,
มาแล้วไอ้สัตว์มาแล้วความสามารถของเขา
There is the lockdown sent. Swing out Texture, trying to find any
Man,
kind of damage
go.
that he possibly can before
Man.
disconnecting back away from this lockdown.
Go.
But ends up falling. The fragment to delay. Salvos
Hey, what?
sent. All of Gen.G flushed back and Primi looks
I
like
didn't.
that space pushing forward. Cruz trying to get the defuse up to half, I believe.
saw.
Ends up getting taken down, and now the firing squad gets opened up. As the defuse is held
เพิ่
to
งหาเจ
half,
อไม่ได้
but
มาดูอะ
เก่งใช่ไหม
this is starting to get away from Talon, and it's been absolutely wrest from their grasp. Jit Boy sprinting as frantically as he can, will be able to avoid the blast radius. But Gen.G
โซเทคด้วย
is taken away round after round.
6 in a row.
เออ
They're so diligent.
หนักจังเลย
They're being
ทำไมไม่กู้ตรงงานโดน
very
เบรก
smart about this
มันโดน
too.
เบรก
As soon as
ของ
that
เยอะครับ
reckoning is in play, you know that Talon is going to be kind of
Am I
scaling
cool?
those ultimates, so they can try to take control of the site. Oh,
Yeah.
Off the
Keep
rope
him
into
cool.
the fragment.
นั่งเล่นจำจี้อยู่มั้ง
Little
สัตว์
whoopsies there
มันจะทำอะไรล่ะ
from Cruz.
เดี๋ยวจัง
คำถาม
Blade Storm for Primi. Still has the
หลับ
op.
ตาเดายังได้เลยทำไมไม่
The
กู้
end of the cash though for Talon. if they lose this round, they're going to be very broke.
แล้วมึงให้มันทำอะไรล่ะถ้ามันไม่กู้อ่ะ
Presence shown through his opponent's poison cloud. Munchkin again with his ult. So Gen.G continuing to just find value in every round, no matter the situation. Against their opponent's ults, they get the win. That's a huge one. Now you've got your own again to clear some sight space.
ไม่เกินสีเหลือง
Nothing confirmed on that drone. Much information that Talon is able to work on.
น้ำตาลไปเลย
Now they're going to start hearing the drone cleared. Gen.G trying to scale up. Grab the orb. Get the Poxy's ult. Looking really nice for Gen.G.
In a forward
สวยทีม
it's just back and spawn. Catching this flank cruise
หลัง
now.
จากปืนพกแล้วก็ไม่เอาเฮียอะไรอีกเลย
Jit Boys in a committed spot is able to find
โอ้
one.
อย่าถือดิไอ้โอ้โถอย่ากลัวดิงัดเลย
Interrupts the plan here
ถือ
for
มี
a
ดเฉย
moment. Some time going to be bought. Trying to get back into a retake spot.
ลงแฟลชให้
Down. Catching texture
เฮ้ย
off
อะไร
guard.
อะไร
We'll find him there
จะลงแฟลช
at
เหรอ
close quarters.
หู
Up
สวย
and over
พิม
the
พ์
top goes Privy the knife. Now pull
เดิน
down
มา
Foxy.
โค้ง
Now
ๆ
gonna
เมื่อ
take
กี้
it down. 2 players remaining
ดูพิมพ์
inside
ดิ
of Gen.G as Ash gets spotted.
แทงคนเดียว
Gets flushed out.
สวยหนึ่ง
Talon now with everything to do.
2-1 ทำไง
Tries to set up for the bite.
เจ็บ
Tucks back into the corner. Needs to
ไม่
hit
น่า
the
พลาด
headshot and cannot. Kahlua with a 3K. Will finally break the win streak here. 6 in a row for Gen.G as Talon find themselves a third round win.
Oh man, Kahlua getting so aggressive in this round. You know, Gen.G gets that one kill, tries to get the plant down, and Kahlua is just right there around the corner waiting. And then some good patience shown by him as well after he gets the first to wait for the reinforcements to arrive. Start finding some damage, and then Primi with the knife. So clean.
เฮ้ย
Again, they're able to
เฮ้ย
work
ช็อต
those
คิวจอย
crossfires
เวอร์
around
เกิน
410
พิม
very nicely to isolate the Gen.G players.
ไม่อยากให้วางอะนะ
And put it down.
ไม่ให้วางนะ
Cannot clutch it out.
คุยไอฟอนหน่อยดิ
This is Talon.
ต้องทำไงนะตัวเนี้ยถ้าไม่ให้มันวางอ่ะ
Okay. Wow.
ทำยังไง
Puzzling, perhaps. Still in a quite a big deficit here. So it seems like Talon maybe believing in this composition a lot more on the attacking side than on the defense. Hard to say either way. It's a second timeout commitment here, so coaching staff, they are sending the team out on their own here for the remainder of the map unless Gen.G gets a timeout call and until we get to halftime.
แน่ใส่ข้อมูล
Yeah, I
เยอะ
mean,
อะ
part
ตอ
of
น
this
เนี้ย
could be just this.
กู
It
บอกให้
wasn't
มึ
the
งเล่น
exact
อย่าง
same
นี้
comp, right? You switch out the Teo
มี
for the
พาบอกมามันต้องเล่นอย่างนี้ มึงทำอะไร
T1 for Talon.
ฟัด
And
ที่
they
ซ้อม
were
มา
they
ลืม
won
แล้วเหร
7
อ
in a row on their defender side to close out the map against T1. 6-6 on their attacker side, so maybe they feel like
ประ
this
มา
is
ณนี้ประ
actually
มาณนี้
the more important side of the map for them, and they really need to get these wins.
Probably thought 6 would be enough, but time will tell. There's up still in hand here for Primi. Just the pit available from Dai.
แม่งรอยิงรี
Munchkin
คอน
with an ult command.
แม่งรอยิงรีคอนโทษทีดูทีมกูเขารีคอนทั้งหมด
Or we'll have an eventual drift.
Like this 3-2 split change up for Gen.G. Kind of a counter lurk
มา
setup.
ไม่อยากให้วาง
Wide for the
ก็
moment.
พลิก
The peek's about to
ตาย
come from the operator, and Munchkin has already swung out wide. Has the headshot now.
วางไง
Ult command in
มันได้
play.
วางไง
Kahlua
ตรงเนี้ย
down below here at back sight. He's trying to stay tucked away, but Ash scaling forward. Finds one. Plant going to be
สวย
interrupted.
คิลัวไม่ให้วาง
Transfer there.
ยังไม่ได้วางครับยังไม่ได้วาง
He's down to 8 HP.
ยังนะ
Technically still resible. 4 players alive, and if they can find the killjoy, then that gives them the opener to go ahead and bring Munchkin back to the fold. So Rez is in. Jit Boys able to find one more of those. Taron will fall. Salvo's sent his way. They nearly all line up.
ไม่ให้วาง
As for a moment, I thought we were going to be getting a 100 Thieves v PRX moment.
Yep.
ก็แพ้เรา
I forget which player it was. I want to say it was like Asuna. Either way, Gen.G.
I believe you're right.
Scraped by with the victory.
ถือว่าตามแผนก็คืออย่างน้อยก็ไม่ได้วาง
Kahlua continues to try to make this as close as humanly possible here for the team.
Well, he's being so aggressive. You know, for Gen.G, the timings here, they've been so passive in the beginning of the rounds. You know, for the first 30 seconds, 45 seconds, they haven't really scaled forward that aggressively. This time, they're able to catch Primi completely off guard. Killua, though, with a decent response, but it's too little, too late. Pass to Salvo is Primi, and he's dead.
And he is. Texture. Put him down very quickly. Munchkin finding Jit Boys and Cruz just kind of sitting here being like, I don't know what to do now. Tries the corner. Get some good damage onto Ash, but
cold.
I mean, Hyde really delivered. Going to be able to find the one. So Kahlua now, sheriff in hand, rotating over. Armageddon going to be picked up here for the final round of the half. As Karan not quite able to.
ไม่ให้วางไม่วาง
Foxy 9 will be
ก่อน
able
มั
to
นได้
do
วาง
so.
เว้ย
Team
สวย
Ace, Gen.G
ตามนัด
get up to 8.
They're just really starting to feel themselves. Our Gen.G able to secure another ult off of that orb
แต่ลืมไปว่า
for Ash, and this is just clean stuff. Another nice flash, anticipating pressure.
เฮ้ยมันโดนรีคอน2 ที
Now Munchkin really starting to get the download on his opponents, really starting to anticipate their reactions. This is when Gen.G gets scary.
มี่ต้องมองข้างหน้าแล้วทำไมไม่มีใครออกมาเอาไอ้ตัวนี้เลยวะมันโดน
Munchkin
รี
has
คอน
good
ดี
reads
วะ
on you. It is really difficult to figure them out
ฉุนวะ
because he's going to be
เฮียมันเดินออกมายิง
throwing the
คิว
right
ไว้ป่ะ
util, the right people at the problems. Didn't see it on Haven, but certainly starting to see it. Ooh, there's some spam damage.
That's a really good amount. Poxy down to 42. No regen armor behind that, so we'll just be stuck at that flat number.
คือไอ้2 ตัวที่อยู่ข้างล่างอะต้องพีคออกมาเอาไอ้นี่พิมมี่ต้องอยู่ข้างบน
Just Sage on this map sometimes. Just want to see a little heals, some walls, some reses. But anyway.
Pit is here. Dimensional drift from texture can try.
อ๋อโดนไฟเต
Spot
โอ
out.
เห
They
รอ
also have an Armageddon. Really just force position on the Viper.
That's what I was just thinking about. I mean, you have a lot of tools to clear this pit. It's quite early. They're going to go for it.
น่าจะโดนไฟเตโอ
Like right on the edge of it, I think. Yeah,
Does he spot him above? Yes, he does.
Yep.
We're now going to be sent out. And Munchkin dead.
สวยไม่ให้วาง
Able to find one Foxy.
เบรก
Take
ดี
it
เบรก
down.
ดีมีอีกไหมมีอีกไหม
As Armageddon now going to be called in. Shoves them away. The site gets opened up. The flank, however, coming through. Primmy swinging around the backhand side.
ไม่ให้วาง
Goes across, looking to interrupt, but Plant is already through. Karan escapes. Puts himself
ไม่
up
ให้
and
วางไม่
above.
ยึด
As Texture finding a nice shot.
มึงอยากจะมองนักใช่ไหม
Double swing out though.
มึงอยาก
Drop
จะมอง
down
นักใช่ไหม
Ash. Dead to rights. Primmy finding Karan.
ไอ้สัต
It's
ว์
all
ส
on
ตันหัว
texture.
แม่
Try to clutch
จะ
it.
แพ้ไอ้เหี้ย
Gets
เฮ้ย
himself
อะไรวะ
up to 3.
เหมือนจะได้เป
And
รียบ
honestly, he's going to be happy that he wouldn't. As it would have been an ace clutch. But that is going to be Talon now finding themselves a 4th round win. But the question is that enough with this composition as they move over to the attack?
Yeah.
Now Foxy down there, 7-6-1, still playing positive at the moment. But for Talon, needing to find the opening pistol, needing to show us what this comp is going to be about. And they're going to be able to get themselves into sights without having these flashes. Obviously, the walls are going to be the solution, but how do they utilize them? That is the question. Foxy able to find just lurk down tube. Nice little walkabout. 2 players dead. Damage dealt to the remainders. Swooping forward, Cruz is able to find Karan, but now Texture up above. Comes away with 2 more, and that's Kahlua all alone in a 1v3.
Oh boy.
No Nano here from Foxy 9 to try to interrupt. Kahlua does have 1. And Stealth Drone just going on the chase, trying to spot out anything that he can, but nothing really
ได้อยู่นะ
identified, but
ได้
it
อยู่
does
นะ
narrow
รัว
down his
คมๆ
possible
หน่อย
positions.
เจ็บ1
Surely not another Talon clutch on the pistol.
ไม่รู้
Oh,
มัน
with
ไม่
the
รู้
0 point, you should basically have a very strong idea
เออ
of where he's at. Salvo's now set to try to
โอ้
flush him forward.
โห
Foxy
ถ้าได้
9
ตัว
will
แร
be
ก
good
มี
for a
ลุ้น
third
เล
fast
ย
track. That lockdown, so
โอ้
Gen.G tying up 2-2 in pistols across the series. And they take that first step towards sending us to a map 3.
Oh, this is just a phenomenal hold by Foxy 9 down the tube, just winning against 2 different players. Meanwhile, the rest of Gen.G was aggressively pushing out
ถ้าได้ตัวแรกนี่
towards
คือจบ
A.
เล
I
ย
mean, Texture, you can see him on the map. He was already all the way up on the
ไอ้
belt.
เหี้ยไอ้เหี้ยฮาบอร์ด
He
ทำ
was
เหี้ยเลยวะ
almost in their spawn. And by that point, it didn't matter because Foxy had gotten the kills anyway. So you're able to just rotate the other direction, counter the B hit. Texture's on his horse to get there. Helps when he has the TP.
Horse by now. Talon feeling the pressure. One of the teams that will, with regularity, pull this out.
Yep.
So Gen.G should have this in the back of their brains, that this is a possibility as Texture is himself forward here and does get scanned out. So quickly we'll have to exit.
Showing a little presence there. But
winnable ถ้ามา A อ่ะถูกต้อง
0
แล้ว
point will tell
นั่นไง
all, but Kahlua at range able to find 1.
โอ้ย
Ash and Munchkin say Arslingers hit a little bit
โอ้
harder.
ยย่าหมด
Here's
ต
the
รง
beat
ได้ไง
driver.
วะ
2 players dead. Decent
แต่
damage
ตัวแรก
dealt.
เราให้
Guardian
cover แล้
will
ว
get scooped up and carried forward, so the more
โอ้
expensive
ตัวแรก
weaponry
โค
is
ตรเวอร์อะ
retained.
โดนได้ไงวะตัวแรก
As Gen.G now get the double digits.
Yeah, what felt like a must-win there for Talon does not go their way. So seemingly, Gen.G going to be very much in the driver's seat as it's going to have to be just, you know, you can get a couple stingers again. You will see this after those attempted, half buy-ups, I'll call them. But things get very, very challenging. Ash with a full rifle. You've got an outlaw for texture. Only one player with even half armor for the side of Talon. Munchkin does not care.
Just kind of using the wall against them.
Yeah.
He's able to go ahead and scoop up that orb before they can get a position. Cruz actually falling down.
มันไม่ได้เล่นเหมือนฮาเว่นแบบ
Stingers in
ฮาเว่น
hand.
มันดูแบบ
As a drone
เป็นชิ้นเป็นอัน
cleared
มาก
out.
กว่า
Premi arriving, dropping down. Munchkin finding one, Karen finding another. Jit able to trade Fox 9. Instantaneous. Just
เฮ้ยเอาสเก็ตลงมาดิ
locking onto their heads.
เอาสเก็ตลงมาเดี๋ยวนี้เลย
As Gen.G looking to similarly deliver a beatdown here on the Talon. Just like they suffered in the map before.
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy. Just how different it can be map to map and on each other's picks. Both teams have great reads. One way, it's Talon. This way, jeez, Foxy. He's really starting to heat up. He's been, depending on whose ratings you look at, one of the best rated players in Pacific for Stage 1 as Foxy 9. He has just been so reinvigorated since his temporary benching.
เฮ้ยตายโอ้โห
That's an op, but he's putting it to good
หมด
use.
Premi just not having
เอ้ยเนี่ยถ้ามีโดนอ่ะเป็นไง
much of a game
มึง
here.
ว่าไง
Not much of a map.
เฮ้ย
Picked apart here off the rip.
เหี้ยกดผิดปะวะ
Look to lock in that map point and get ready to send us over to Pearl.
ใช้2โดนชิว
Which the desk was talking about. It's not the most popular map for both of these teams.
No.
So very curious what sights we end up seeing there.
I do love
ๆ
Pearl.
แล้วอ่ะไม่เป็นไรเจอกันที่เพร์ลเว้ยเพร์ลทารอนเก่งอยู่
Gambit
แมตช์
between
เปิด
these
ตั
two
ว
with the
คิ
IGLs.
รัวป่ะถ้า
So
จำไม่ผิด
good.
โคตรเฉิดโคตรเฉิด
Both different maps.
Ooh, so okay, Munchkin not quite ready for the push.
เฮ้ยใช่เหรอ
Creep
มี
up
เหรอ
there from
มีเหรอ
Jit
ของ
Boys
ดีเหรอ
able to find the opener. Gun barrel I don't think was spotted by Karan, but obviously they're only going to be coming from one direction. He's able to find the first, but cannot get the second. So amount of tap there on the Jit Boys as the plant now gets ready to come through, and that's going to give him the reckoning, and given the scoreline, they might feel the necessity to go ahead and invest that, but now he's all alone.
แต่เราแพ้แล้วอันนี้
Just from behind.
ไม่มีรูปเลยไม่มีภาพ
Slowly creeping forward up to
ไม่
the
มีอะไร
back.
ทั้งนั้น
And
น่ะ
that is going to be Gen.G now getting up to map point. Pearl looking like it's very much going to be on the horizon. Unless we can see an 8-round run back here from Talon, but it's a reminder that they have no timeouts.
It's very, very difficult now. Money's going to be bad for Talon. They're going to have to scrape together some buys here and there.
ต่อลงต่อเล็กอีก
I mean, Jit trying to barrel his way forward. Ash accounting for Ty's lurk very nicely. That's another thing that Gen.G has done is they've started to win some of those 1v1s that we weren't seeing on Haven. They're winning those anti-lurk plays when theirs were not coming through at all on the previous map. Jit Boys has an ult.
วันนี้มีประชุม2 ทุ่ม
So
อี
does
ก
Gen.G.
They have
Two.
Null Command can just go ahead and stop him from using it.
Exactly.
Get themselves into a post plant.
You can use texture to figure out what's going on.
คู่2มันอาจ
This
จะ
is
ไม่
going to
ไม่
be
จบ
tricky.
นะ
Texture's just going to be peeking. Turns over to the right-hand side. What a timing from Texture. Just finds one Foxy. Forward lurk. Tucks back. Gets around the corner. Looks to escape. Widely chooses to go in behind the storage unit rather than jumping across towards the site. This Cruz headshot is going to be found on a Munchkin.
To start, you're really deep, but Jit Boys uses that cascade, so Gen.G aware of what's going on over on the A site. Just going to be happy to give that overplay for retake with the man advantage. And there you go. Texture gonna rip the ult pretty early here. A lot of the other players not able to play off of this, so kind of curious what the plan is on the back of this.
As a flash through the cove.
ไม่โดนแฟลช
Tucks back, gets around the corner. Does still just have that operator in hand. Hunter's Fury going to be sent in. Cruz hunting, looking. Jit Boys tagging. Finds Ash at screens. Now a 3v3.
Home.
All at the ready, but Ty a little bit faster. Able to find that kill. Jit Boys sights up towards the Raptors. Finds one. Texture swaps over for the Vandal. Running low on bullets, running low on time. He's not ready for the close angle. Cruz in pole position. Able to shut him down. As Talon will get themselves a 5th round win, needing 7.
Yeah, this one, a little bit uncomfortable for Gen.G.
Oh no.
Going down early. Pulls one of the ults away, and Texture, I think, maybe just a little bit ahead of the curve on this. Maybe he was looking for Cruz. That's another thing I have in the back of my mind, is that he was looking for that Hunter's Fury to see if he could find a isolated play to pick, but never really able to scale deep enough to get that info. And then Talon able to set up those crossfires nicely, finding a 5th round, but like you were saying,
ไม่ค่อยคึกคืนเลยอะ
now it's 7
บร
in
ร
a
ยา
row.
กาศ
Primy up on the tube. Oh goodness.
And he's taking
แล้ว
out
ที
a
มพี่จะ
four.
ตาย
This
อ่ะ
gets lit up.
And now, I mean, he just
Oh
has the
my
backpedal,
God.
and he's gonna Foxy just sprays through the smoke, through everything, finds the kill. Another first death here for Primy. As the turret will finally be taken down. Texture holding underneath the angle here at tube.
Yeah, I love this. Trying to make sure that Ty has no ability to dictate the flow of this map.
Coming out, Munchkin able to drop back. Karan looking for the kill, can't find it. Lua does take a bit of damage, but elimination not going to be found out. Munchkin will be bleeding out on the floor. Foxy arriving, able to find the first, cannot readjust. There's Munchkin no hope in hell for a res to come through here. Ash, however, good for another. The peeking on the off, just a hair off. There is Texture. Lockdown now, going to be invested. So even if Gen.G don't close out the round, given that they have a deep fight from Ash coming around the backhand side, they still get rid of one of these critical ultimates here from Talon.
วิทามิ่งดีจัดทีม
Timing could be absolutely devastating.
อ่ะ
Chops, whips, and Ash has absolutely beefed it.
โอ้ one more
Oh no.
Now on Texture's shoulders. Lineups at the ready. As there goes the first dart. Here comes the second. Swap onto the Vandal. The
ถ้ามี
tap
สัก
is
เกต
looking to
มา
try to
คือ
bait
จบ
them forward.
จบ GG
Who's now dropping down.
Safe, huh?
Texture says, yeah, no, I'm going to hold on to the operator. Carry that
Next
forward
time.
into the next round, and Talon will be given a
Gen.G ปล่อย
second
แผน
lease
ลับ
on
สักเก
life.
ตลง
A few moments here that this round could have gone very differently for Gen.G, but not able to stabilize. The aim is Ash. I mean, this is a great start again. They got a good read on what Primy's doing on top of the tube. Foxy 9, if he can find that third, that could be a very different story. Same here for Ash. If he finds Cruz, could be a very different story.
I mean, he found him.
Well, the hard way, yes.
Just
not, you know.
Slippery. Just couldn't get a good hold of him.
Yeah.
Unreal. Well, Talon run this back.
Hey, boo!
He's going to be kicking himself about that one for a long, long time. Still, though, odds in Gen.G's favor, as I think the drone should have seen him. Primy was ready, checking the angle.
Bait and switch.
He immediately finds a shot. Texture finds the follow-up. Crew's going to be taken out. Repeaks. Jit Boys back around the corner. The swing out. Sets up for the wall. Goes for the timing shot, but Ash is there to collect.
ถ้าบอก
And then starts getting away from him. A 3K from Texture. Munchkin finds the last kill on the opposite side of the map. It's going to be 13-6 this time at Gen.G's hands to go ahead and send us over into a third and final map.
This is pretty wild. Such dom.
Wanting to suffer that fate.
If it is going to be a jazz style for Talon, it comes down to the swing. You need to be able to rotate around the map nicely here to avoid some of this. Primy able to get past the salvos.
Lua does it without taking damage.
Yeah.
Mid exploration coming through. Ty over here at Shops. On the peak. Does get noted. Doesn't necessarily know how many more players are coming at him until this very moment as the melee bolt goes in and Munchkin swing in the corner is able to find one. He said king of swing. There's that first swing coming through. Good damage in reply though, as Munchkin will fall down to 13. Jit Boys at the same time, creeping forward, tries to open up the site. Gets the one tap to put down Foxy 9. Now the plant can come in.
Yeah, that's huge. They were lurking on a couple different areas of the map were Talon, so even though they lose that mid fight, they were able to take a lot of map control. Primy was pretty deep towards A, so they had a great idea of what was going on and how they could quick rotate to the other side. Now Gen.G has to set up for a big retake. You've got some flashes, you've got the Teho util. Can you get the job done? Cruz still has a haunt. So timing's going to be important.
Be a bit of a death ball here. Texture somehow able to stabilize that. Shot finds Jit Boys. Cruz now dead. Site widely opened up. Still this flank coming through from Primy, though, can find some solid damage, some solid impact here in the round. Kalua widely all alone, but Munchkin holds the angle, is wise to it. Gen.G with a very solid read. Pick up another pistol, taking the lead in that regard.
Yeah, they they had this round very well under their control from the beginning and the end. The beginning, great play there to find that isolated player. Cruz was trying to get back in time, was throwing a prowler, but by that point it was too late. Gen.G was already accelerating up into the shops. And this is, ooh, well, all's well that ends well. But what a read by Munchkin there, anticipating that a player is going to come out. A great smoke that covers that spike and sets up Munchkin for that positional play too. Again, those salvos.
Oh, that is so much damage. Ash immediately collecting 2 of them. Now a third, now a 4th.
Ooh.
As it's a flawless average pack round, baby. Woo!
Woo! I heard some players making similar sounds down at the stage before the map started, and I honestly had no idea if it was Talon or Gen.G, because they both kind of have that sort of whimsy about them, I suppose.
This was... It might be a stretch, but you could call it whimsy.
Well, this round is, yeah, this round, I was talking about their pre-map noises. And this is quick scale towards the B site, clear the turret. Munchkin gonna throw a flash to try to buy a little bit of time. Mid-pressure being watched by Talon, but nobody from Gen.G oversteps. It's gonna slide right over towards that B site off of that turret clear, just in case. There was pressure coming that way, but this is all setting up for a bit of a fake.
เห็นตีนเรียบร้อย
Oh, the feet spot out in a ton of
เบสิก
damage.
วอลโลแรนต์เพื่อ
Push
น
across on the 2 players
บ
of
อ
Talon. 52 health
Basic
between
เล
Blue
ย
and Tai.
That could be a difference
ถ้าปืน
maker.
เขาดีมึงไปแล้วเนี่ย
Especially against a bonus. Some of those other guns.
โอ้
that might
โด
not
น
normally
บ้อง
get
อีก
kills.
โอ้
Yeah, this is
เรี
bad.
ยบร้อย
Cruz
แล้ว
needing
อยู่ไกลกันอีกโอ้ที่ละ
to
ตั
find
ว
anything, but he cannot.
Oh.
Now the Nebula gets popped, he pushes forward. Jit Boy's eyes there. Yep, gets into that smoke a little bit faster. Finds that punish. Texture.
Oh no.
Actually able to line him up. Is Relay Bolt not going to connect on
Yeah,
this? But no, actually does find one. Drop down though. Premi coming away with a kill, but Texture able to find the first. Premi finds a second, but now Munchkin finds Kahlua. And even if Premi gets this clutch, this is so much damage dealt by Gen.G.
พิมพ์ขวาพิมพ์เชื่อบูมดิ
Spike across the opposite side of the site.
He doesn't have time.
พิม
He
พ์
doesn't have it. He doesn't have any util.
Ash just needs to watch.
Yeah, he's just playing stuck back here. Premi has to get this elimination, run for the sprint for that plant, and he cannot. That is a bonus conversion here at Gen.G's hands.
ปูเย่ยำเย่
I mean, Gen.G just has so many little traps in this round. They've got that smoke where they can find a bit of an angle, get a ton of damage,
ไปด้วยกัน
shotgun
แล้วอ่ะ
around the corner, and even though Jit Boys plays it nicely off the fake out through the smoke to get the kill, everybody else just doing a really nice job of swarming,
นั่นมันโกรธ
swarming it through, yeah. And a great play there by Texture with his fast lane to set up that push into halls as well, cutting off those players that were in his sight. He's got an outlaw.
Just imagining listening to nice jazz and that's the backing vocals. It's just the screams. Oh, that Texture going to be out way too wide. Gets overwhelmed.
ไอ้นั่นแอบฝืนนะ
Classic for Premi able to find that kill, and that's potentially a weapon recovered. And with the smoke, yep, we'll be able to grab that quickly. Exits back across the opposite side of the map.
ปืนนี้แหละ
Does also have
อย่า
a
พลิกเก
dimensional
ม
rift
เว้ย
available. It'll be a hell of a way to get themselves on the board here for Talon.
Yeah. What a start there. Maybe Texture anticipating that maybe one player was there, he could just grab info instead. He was overwhelmed.
ปืนสั้นมั้ยน่ะ
So now it's on to Munchkin.
บ้องโต
over
เหรอ
there towards A, but
เฮียแม่งทิ้งของ
all
ก
the
ลาง
way
ไว้
back. They're playing deep.
ปูเย่ยำ
Zero
เย่
point going to be cleared, knows that they're in, catches a shoulder. Fragment delays the rest of the team. As the Prowler gets cleared out, the jump out from Premi, looking for the shots there. The Outlaw, however, will be felled. Munchkin re-swings, looks for a little bit more, ends up overstepping his tie.
winnable เลย winnable เลย
Able to find a little bit more. It is a bloody brawl, one that Gen.G narrowly gets away from here with the win. 4-0 to start, but a hell of a go from Talon to nearly pull off the Thrifty.
Yeah, I mean,
เอาเขาเหลือ
let's
ห
see
นึ่
if
ง
that can get a fire lit underneath this Thai team, because that's a ton of damage done on an eco. The problem is that you've already lost the bonus. So things get a little bit messy behind that. And good delay from Munchkin there off the rip, using that fragment to divide up the Talon forces. set up for the rest of the Gen.G
แย่
players to
ไม่
get
ยิงไฟ
there.
ลุกหมดเลยอ่ะ
And Ash comes through, clutches it up, having a whale of a day is Ash.
We'll ignore the icebox moment.
Yeah.
Everything else.
Everything else has been good. You know, one
เฮ้ย
beef.
ไม่เจออะไรเลยแต่เพื่อนเข้าได้ไง
side
คิว
open and says, "Come on in. Water's warm."
Scouts it all out for him.
กูเย่ยำเย่
Munchkin's
All
got his
command
own.
เฮ้ย
available
ไอ้
for
ยั
the
นแฟดออกแมป
retake.
แล้วล่าสุด
But for now,
สุดใหม่
plant and play.
เลย
พดแพนนะ มันกินมันจะอันติแล้วเราก็ใช้สกิลไม่ได้
Not sure if it was able to catch a glimpse on Primi, but it does force him to go ahead and evacuate all the
ปล่อย
same.
ครับ
Look how far back Talon's playing on this.
แอตตาห้ามโดนนะแอตตาห้ามโดนนะ
His way around the back.
Esta
Talon
doon
moving
BGG
now
na.
forward here into the site.
โดนนะ
Blew up. Maybe looking for timing to try to swoop forward. It's about to be barrel stuff.
Hey.
Munchkin quick
Hey.
finds a headshot. Jit Boys now
เตโอ
starting to swing around
ปล่อย
towards
มิด
Flowers.
ตายหน่อยเตโอ
The defuse is just being held around. It gets away from them. They'll find some more kills, but Jit Boys needs to hold on to the weapon. Question is, can he do so? Tag down to 52, and they will leave him to his own devices. But Gen.G are now up 5-0.
Yeah, they're playing for retake the whole way. Our Gen.G. This is just a mess. I mean, the timing there for Killua couldn't have been worse. The peek from Cruz, ill-advised. There's a operator waiting for you there, and I don't know what Jit's doing. He took quite a while to get through water.
ชิบหายแล้วมันเล่นแต่มีความสุขแล้วว่ะ
Oh,
He's just a kid.
oh, good God, it's so funny. Armageddon going to be used aggressively here, forcing them forward out of club. I can't even find my words yet.
Nope.
I mean, this is basically the round done. The spike is now stranded.
มันมีความสุขแล้วว่าสวยแล้วว่า
Gen.G learning from the mistakes on this B-long push out. This time they've got numbers to back Texture up. And he dies again, but that's okay. You won that battle. The war for the rest of the round continues, but a man down. Our Talon looking into this. They've got some ults, but two of them are out of their hands. Ty has the Cosmic Divide. Are they going to be able to use it? You have to use it to grab the spike. You can't. Just use the smokes, but look at all that util.
Well, they try to nano it. The spike's still on the floor. Back screens. They just spam them out. They say, well, we have a suspicion. And it is confirmed. Primi now here alone to try to play recovery. Deep, long flank from Ty once again. Trying to make his way through. But he can't make any noise. It's a grab well. I mean, this is like cringe post plant from Gen.G, but they're just protecting a spike. And with Primi dead, now it's absolutely over because this whole slow walk up attempt from Ty to try to get into a position to
ไอ้
keep
ตาย
his
บอมมันตกอยู่หน้าบี
flank
ไว้ตาย
unknown means that he is in no spot to find the impact, and he cannot get there in time before Primi falls. Now will just be the save.
Yeah. I mean, just crazy stuff from Gen.G. Doubling down on some of what we saw a few rounds ago. This time it works really, really well. Just Talon scratching their heads. The lurking player ineffective again. So Gen.G playing with some confidence, playing with some pace, and shutting Talon out of the round. Oh, the Nova Pulse back there too. Yeah. Cringe post plan is correct.
There's the timeout call after the 0-6 start. The Jazz is not coming together.
No. This is more of a cacophony than a Jazz.
This is, yeah.
It's not really sounding like music, postmodern, maybe, but
โตโน่งอนิชาไม่สำเร็จมั่น
Young
ใจ
kid
ไม่
at
ได้
their first drum set.
yeah. Or you get like a recorder concert at an elementary school and it just
no.
My my
อย่า
Korean teacher
โต
got me
โย
an
โตโย
Oh,
I was thinking about bringing it to annoy you.
No, that is
อย่าดีกว่า
that is
โต
the
โย
nerdiest.
Someone, the Valo to Asia guys told me I should learn how to play Die For You on it.
Yeah. Oh.
I would just love to torture you with that, so maybe I'll do it.
How did they miss that one during the production of the song?
Yeah.
How did Gravis not go, oh, you know what we need?
Well, you see, I could record it, and then you could use it on like your TikTok reels and your Insta reels and stuff to put over like fail plays in Valorant.
See, I have an ocarina back in New Jersey.
Yeah.
I bought that
because of Legend of Zelda.
When I was 12.
Yeah.
And yes, because of Legend of Zelda.
Thought so.
Yes.
Though, if you go to I'll have to hold that thought. Tempted the exciting exec coming through here from
ต้อง
Talon.
นับหนึ่งได้แล้ว
Widely just going to be used
ถ้าไม่
though,
นับหนึ่ง
and
จะ
then
เป็นอีก
they're
ภา
going to
พ
back
หนึ่ง
away.
นะ
Yeah, they can't do anything off of that. And Gen.G just backing up towards spawn, looking for those aggressive pushes, those lurks.
Look down. Yep. They're able to find it. And now they're committed. Stealth drone basically tells them everything they need to know. Flash set up, dodged. As Relay Bolt looks at further delay. Steel Garden going to be invested here. Texture no real route of escape.
หวานมาเลย
Gate crash going to be faked, but Texture able to confirm that it's not for real. Miner zap and nearly finds some damage. Overdrive and play gets the transfer. 3K from Texture looking for that fourth. Swing around the side. Can he get it? Yes, he absolutely can. And that might just be the final nail in the coffin. This Gen.G move up 7-0, just swatting Talon aside round after round.
Mr. 4K has done it again. Just giving the people what they want. I've already seen a couple signs in the crowd looking for the 4K, and they get it. That first two with the overdrive. Disgusting. Disgusting, those headshots. That was phenomenally played by Texture. What a awesome counter to that Vice ultimate to have. And Talon invests a couple big ones in that round, and they get butt kiss in return. Still have Ty's ult, still have Jitboy's ult, but those were two big execute ults that you wasted in that round. Primi went away from his
เห
at
งาเลย
least.
แบบนี้เหงาเลยสัตว์ เหงา
Texture
เลย
find the
โด
one,
นทุก
quickly
รู
slides
ไอ้
away.
เนี่ยตายทุกโค้ง
Relay to cover the escape as well as the Nebula pop.
เหงื่อ
Gonna be another early
หายใจ
player
หน่อย หายใจหน่อยไหม
side of Gen.G.
พอดหายใจหน่อยไหม
Get a good read, can Talon. Texture's been holding long B, so they thought they'd try some art
ว่าต้อง
aggression,
การ
and
พ
he
อดหาย
shifted
ใจว่ะ
over.
เหมือนตอน
Munchkin
แรก
one
อะ
step ahead of his opponent in the positioning of his chess pieces. Cruz though? Ooh, almost. Have the read.
Close but no cigar. And Ash, he's just going to look to jiggle out a bit. Nothing else going to be spotted here. Just an orb grabbed up here for Cruz. Work his way back over to join in with the rest of the team that's encroaching on this A position. Primi getting noticed by the 0 point.
That's dragging Texture over to back up the defenses on A.
เอ้าไอ้เฮียนี่ถ้าพิม
Mask
มี่
goes
แม่
on.
ติมัน
Primi
ตายแล้วนะ
looking to lead the charge and spot things out. Caron caught. Does end up getting taken down as there's the neural theft reveal. Take the turn from the flash there is Munchkin. Not getting spotted out, but Texture's position now going to be noted here. Dugout. Foxy 9 strafing forward. Jitboy's going to be found. Munchkin peeks in from the window, says hello. He was able to take him down. Lockdown now going to be committed here from the side of Gen.G. The flank coming in from Cruz, needing to deliver, but it has been read like a book. And now the two remaining players are forced out of the sight. Primi does manage to find one, but then swiftly will be dealt with. Oh, it's a catastrophe.
Oh,
so anyway, what I was going to say is that if you go to, I'm going to butcher the name, it's Chufan in Taiwan. It's a city, lovely, gorgeous city. They, for whatever reason, specialize in making ocarinas. Because I feel like right now, it's better to talk about that.
No, that's where my Korean teacher bought it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, there you go.
It's a little duck. Which I found to be funny because we have a quack on our casting team.
I see.
She does not know that.
Well, you should harass him with it.
I will. I will. I'll harass both of you. You can't hold me back. Oh, no, 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 no. Oh, my God.
Oh, no, 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 no. No, no, no.
I was just watching the lockdown and...
I'm watching this.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, looks like we're being told it's just a gear issue on the side of Gen.G. Hopefully. Just, you know, a little too much excitement. Maybe slammed a mouse.
Just yank that keyboard out
Check the dongle, check the polling array. Let's hope that everything's good to go.
Yeah. Hopefully we'll be able to get it resolved pretty quickly here. But, I mean, what a pace Gen.G has set here on Pearl. And
being told that it's going to be a very fast turnaround.
Trust.
I'm knocking on wood.
Trust. Thank God this desk is made out of wood.
Yeah. I bet that Munchkin gets MVP. I bet that Foxy9 gets MVP. Loser has to pay for barbecue. What if you both lose?
Yeah, what happens then?
Is it just a split?
Just
do it Dutch?
Yeah. You might be on that trajectory with the way Texture's been playing.
Yeah. Yeah.
They want to see Gen.G play again tomorrow, for sure.
Well, they are 5 rounds away from making that happen. 5 round wins away, I should say.
I mean, it's just so fun to watch some of these teams, but Gen.G is just having a blast. I mean, obviously, but they're so loud, they're so fired up. You know, you gotta love the energy that both teams will bring, but
hey,
and we're in.
Alrighty.
That's how you do a tech pause.
Ash has not died. It's worth noting.
Oh my God, he hasn't.
9-0-3.
Okay, so maybe Ash MVP. We'll see.
9-0-3.
To try to back it up, so we'll see which way the votes end up. For now, 4 Guardians, a Phantom for Jit. Talon about to face in towards this judge. It's going to be Kahlua on the opposite side of the map. He's actually able to find that kill. The Texture does manage to find high. If it's back across towards A, which has not yet been taken.
Dissuades them from this. They set up the Vice Wall inside of it. So if there's any lurks from Gen.G, they'll get identified. But you don't have a ton of information on this map. You've lost mid control. You've been spotted. Just the Cypher, though. So that's some good misleading information.
It's not the tell-all.
Yep. Gen.G hasn't bitten on any of this. Yeah, that's going to make it a little obvious.
Salvos to go ahead and delay. Cage lopped forward as stun maybe just narrowly avoided there by Primi, but Charon has now moved forward to further reinforce this site, and they are tearing them apart. So how much was the ocarina? Was it, you know, was it
No idea. She didn't tell me that. But it's very cute.
Well, 3K from Charon, 9-0.
ไม่มีควันนะไปแล้ว
I would recommend going there, though. It's a very nice gorgeous city.
I would like to. I really would like to go.
ขอไม่ศรัทธาในการคัมแบ็ก
I went when it was rainy, which was less ideal, but was more idyllic for like photos.
มันเข้าข้อกันแล้วดิ
But it's just imagine like just old, just like night market type. You know, there's all these like paper lanterns lining the streets, and you're like going up these staircases and stuff that lead to the top of the town and everything. And there's just shops and restaurants everywhere.
Oh, you know me, I'd love that.
It's very, very beautiful.
Absolutely.
Do a taxi tour, and they'll take you all around the northern side of the island.
You know, I'm okay with that too. What else has been beautiful? That Texture's op been just stellar on this map. No answers to be bombed by Talon.
Whatsoever. Now needing a Thrifty just to try to get the first round win on the board. And Charon is just got him lined up here alongside Munchkin. So he takes away the kills. Primi spotted out.
มองไปที่
It's got to be scratching his head.
อันนี้ดีกว่าว่ะ
Yeah, this is heartbreaking so far. I mean, there's still a world where Talon turns this around, but okay.
Okay, Primi finding the first. Ash peeks in, finds the kill. Yeah, back away. You haven't died yet.
Yeah. Can't wait for everybody else.
Go for the perfect run, the undefined KDA.
Yeah.
มองไปที่ซุปเปอร์ทาวน์ดีกว่าครับ นี่ฮะ
Don't fully have eyes on it. Primi does get a gun.
มาใหม่วันที่3นะครับ
Spike now picked up. Tap to try to see if he can bait out
วัน
any
ที่3มาแน่ครับ
close
ชุด
peeks.
ใหญ่แพทบึ้มบั้มนะครับผมบึ้มบั้ม
Retaps. Texture just dropping down. And now he's completely surrounded.
พวกเราอุ้ย
Primi, what a transfer for the third.
NT
We'll say kudos.
By Gen.G.
กำไรเลยนะอย่างเงี้ย
See what reactions come through from Talon, and also
แสดงว่าเริ่มแล้วกำไรแรกตบแน่หนองชิม
ได้เวลากู
3-man
ออก
push,
โร
although
ง
the spike's still sitting
กู
in mid, and they're actually going to go all the way to the connector.
I think Munchkin really wants to try to keep the interest over here. They're pushing around the back. Dimensional drift to come out. Munchkin potentially at a risk here. But Primi's going to be able to spot out. Yeah, there's not much else over here at long. Jumps back. Texture looking to try to lead the charge to open up the site. Sliding forward, able to spot out one, but not before Charon gets taken down. Ash, however, finding Jit Boys. Foxy finding Kahlua. Player advantage now here for the side of Gen.G as they look to bring the series to a conclusion.
ฮะโอ้โหยันไม่ทัน
Jump forward in the bracket.
They slip the defenses.
แม่งเอาเละเลย
Gen.G close it out.
ล็อกขาไปทีมปาไปดิ
Cosmic Divide called in. Cruz here on the corner. Texture tagged down to 52, and they lined up for him. It'll end in the blink of an eye as Texture picks up a 3K, and Gen.G look dominant on Pearl.
What a bounce back today for Gen.G. It looked like it might be a rough go of it after Haven, but they came storming back, only allowing 9 rounds in the last 2 maps to Talon. Fantastic work by the Master Shanghai winners, and they are on the hunt for another appearance at an international event. Got to tip your cap today to the whole squad, but especially Texture Ash, who were just
มากอะตอนแรกเปิดตัวคิดรัวก็แพ้ใช่ปะกูนึกว่าเขาแก้มาแล้วอ๋อไม่อะเละก็แก้แหละดูจากที่เปลี่ยนเอเจนต์แก้มาละเอเจนต์มันเปลี่ยนแต่ก็โดนอยู่ดี